Part 12. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Ching Qian. Chapter 111. Since the signing process of the show was finalized with Sci-fi, the assistant director had already secretly applied for funds from within Daxiatai and was waiting to fly directly to Linkhung. Finally let him wait until this day. He had already thought about signing the contract and eating and drinking in Linkhung. The manager paused and turned his head, just in line with the excited assistant director's gaze. He felt that the face was a little familiar and couldn't help but stop. The assistant director also saw him and instantly became vigilant. "Miss S.I., what is this?" "Irrelevant person." S.I. pulled out a chair. "You sit." Oh, the assistant director sat down. "It's good for someone who doesn't care, that's good." He thought that someone was robbing him. Shanglu couldn't help but shut the door out the manager who wanted to take a look. The manager is furious. He recalled the appearance of the assistant director, and always felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity, as if he had seen it somewhere, but he couldn't remember it for a long time. The company called again to urge him, and the manager didn't bother and left quickly. In the lounge. After the assistant director filled a bottle of water, he took the contract out of the bag. "Miss S.I., come here, take a look. The contract is in 2 copies, and the precautions are written clearly. You can see if there are any problems, we'll change it on the spot." Yes, I raised the pen, thoughtfully. "Isn't it the director who has the final say?" The deputy director looked upright and awe-inspiring. "The director is not here, he dare not object to what I said. If it is sold, it will be sold, anyway, the director does not know. I just got negative news today." I didn't sign it. The fox's eyes rolled up and he smiled. "If you want to go back on it, it's okay." She was happy to relax. There are indeed many advertising endorsements looking for her recently. Some people came directly to the youth training base to discuss with her, but most of them still contacted Tianal Media. Feng Piazi did not allow her to accept endorsements, and refused all of them, unless she was asked to share a few good endorsements with Meng Shui. I have to say that this is the only thing Feng Piazi does that suits her heart. Negative news. The assistant director was surprised. "What kind of negative news?" Si raised his eyebrows. "Shanglu. Is the news of Daxiatai so slow?" Shanglu reluctantly handed the phone over. "The above is a Weibo posted by several marketing accounts. It's all the same text and screenshots. A woman surnamed S got involved in the marriage of a wealthy family. Who else doesn't know? The man's mother went directly to the show team. This is really the most humble person and invincible. The face is really thick, but if you want to marry into a wealthy family, you can't just rely on your face." After reading it, the assistant director nodded. "So that's the case, but just from a picture and a word, you can't tell anything. Oh my god, these marketing numbers are really better than me." Si clasped his hands together and said calmly, "So do you still need to sign?" "Sign it? Of course I have to sign it." The assistant director was anxious. "You don't want to regret it, Miss Si, right? The remuneration is still negotiable." I said, "I don't want your salary, since it's a public welfare, I'll donate it." Si picked up the pen again. "Besides, your show is also very interesting to me, just treat me like a salted fish lying like this. Go ahead and warm up." Shanglu caught a glimpse of several program names on the contract. "Hey, there is such an interesting program. Where do you take the scene of Crocodile Lake?" Only then did the assistant director notice him. "Young man, you are a talented person, are you interested in making a commercial or something?" "I'm not interested." Shanglu looked proud. "Your show is really just a warm-up, let alone crossing the Crocodile Lake. I can even catch the big lizards in the tropical rainforest with my bare hands." The assistant director Bald was shocked. Si glanced at Shanglu. Shanglu whispered, "Of course, Miss Si is the most powerful. Miss Si knocked me down with one hand." Deputy Director. No, who are these people? After SI fucking signed the words, he asked casually, how many people are there in each episode? There are 5 resident guests in each episode, the deputy director said. There will also be flying guests, and the number is uncertain. Okay, SI fucking nodded. You haven't eaten yet? I'll ask Xiao Luzi to take you around. Shanglu looked resentful, but he had to go out with a cheerful assistant director. SI fucking picked up the phone and saw the message Pei Menzi sent her. The time was 5 minutes ago. She nodded and replied. Do you explain? You explain directly, just keep your mouth shut, stop talking nonsense. Do you still want your dog's life? After finally registering a Weibo account, Pei Menzi woke up immediately when he saw this sentence. With a flick of his hand, he quickly deleted the edited Weibo. Indeed. Explanation is to cover his voice, but in the eyes of netizens, he was fascinated by SI fucking and wanted to abandon Zokinja. What can we do now? Pei Menzi hurriedly made a phone call. Hey, Miss SI, save me. Be merciful, save me. Stay at ease, SI fucking said ruthlessly. I said that you will come to me when the talisman paper is burnt. A big man is like a turtle looking at the sky. Pei Menzi was stunned. Why a turtle? SI fucking, shrink your head and mind. Pei Menzi. SI fucking just hung up Pei Menzi's phone when another call came in. You're on the trending search again. I'm serious, I'll find you a PR team, Chu Lingyun said quickly. Look at you, what kind of hack you are on the internet. SI fucking crossed Erlang's legs. No money, no need, let them be black, can I lose a hair? You really have a big heart. Chu Lingyun shook his head. Then I'll talk to you about something else. Wait, SI fucking held the phone. My boss is looking for me. I'll go out, you go on, I'll listen. She took the clothes, walked out of the lounge, and came outside the training base. Feng San was waiting in front of the car. But this time he wasn't alone, there were 5 people behind him. The 5 were male and female, all in suits and leather shoes. Miss SI Feng San stepped forward. Your hot searches have become more frequent recently, and you are busy with work, so you can't handle it. Brother Ju has specially transferred a public relations team from Sijukan to you. Let them try, if they don't work, change it. What the boss gave, I naturally have to accept it. SI fucking blinked. Why is the boss so arrogant? As an employee, I admire it very much. I have to work hard and strive to be a labor pace setter. Chu Lingyun, who hasn't been hung up yet. Double standard. Feng San was choked. Okay, Miss SI, let them deal with today's affairs first. If you need anything, you can also mention it. The leading woman stepped forward and handed over a business card. Hello, Miss SI, we are Starcourt Law Firm and serve you wholeheartedly. SI fucking nodded. Okay. Immediately afterwards, she seemed to remember something, and Mao Mao was vigilant. Will you not deduct my salary? Feng San, no. That's fine. SI fucking regained his lazy look. I'll go back to work and call if anything happens. Wait, Chu Lingyun finally had time to speak. What did I hear just now? Starcourt Law Firm. I'll take a look. SI fucking glanced at the business card. Well, it's the name, and it sounds pretty good. Chu Lingyun. Hire a professional law firm just to be a PR team. What a big deal. Goodbye, can't be bothered. Chu Lingyun couldn't understand. No, who is your boss? Even the golden lawyer of Xinting law firm just adjusts it. Your boss is so rich and powerful, why are you still like this? How my boss is rich is his business. SI fucking said lightly. Mine is mine, and we are not a family. That's right. Chu Lingyun was still curious, but who is your boss? This is Starcourt Law Firm. SI fucking said unhurriedly. My boss Yushu Linfen is gentle, elegant, suave, and personable. He is snow in the sky, moon in the clouds, Bayou Egwang, and Cinnabar Mole. How can there be such a perfect person as my boss in the world? Chu Lingyun. What a rainbow fart. He pinched his eyebrows. Okay, since you finally took over the PR team, I'm relieved. I'll tell you something about the movie, let's discuss it. Sci-fi poured into the training base. Outside, Feng San drove away. Get ready and withdraw from the hot search. The elite woman glanced at her watch. The ids of the netizens who participated in this rumor will be recorded, and I will give you half an hour. On the other side, the Pei group. MRS Pei was so busy these 2 days that she didn't have time to eat, so she finally stabilized the company's capital chain and was able to rest for a while. She casually asked something about the internet. Ma'am, when we first read it, the hot search has been removed, said the manager of the public relations department. Not only that, other negative news has also disappeared, even the Weibo of Miss Zhou Qinjia. With the words "this Weibo involves false information." It's a bit of a skill, MRS Pei sneered. It seems that she has found a public relations team. Come here, send a Weibo as I said. If she doesn't want my Pei's money, my name will be written upside down. The manager of the public relations department immediately sent a Weibo according to what MRS Pei said. At Paishijrup, Mr. is very busy, and the wife is also very busy. I really don't have time to teach an outsider. I hope at Sifukingsi is a little self-aware. Want. Don't think that you can marry into a wealthy family by making up some ghostly words. Please correct your attitude. For the sake of you being brought out by Mr. Zhou, this time, the Pei family doesn't care. As soon as this Weibo post came out, black fans moved when they heard the news, and netizens who eat melons also came quickly. No wonder the hot search has been withdrawn so quickly. It must be true, the mistress of the Pei family has come out to speak. How can it be fake? The hot search is withdrawn really fast. I saw more than 20 on the hot search list 1 second ago, but after refreshing it the next second, it will be gone. SI fucking really has a gold owner. It seems that MRS Pei really hates SI fucking. She doesn't give any face, she just went online. As I said, no matter how rich the stars in the entertainment industry are, there is still a wall between them and the real giants. The Pei family has a lot of background in Linkhung. What else does SI fucking have to say? I don't know what her fans are doing. It's rubbish with bad character. To be honest, SI fucking is really evil. Her begging for rain always makes me feel that something is wrong. I don't know what she said. What is she doing? The manager of the public relations department respectfully said, Madam, it has been sent as you said. That's fine, MRS Pei said coldly. A little star who still wants to fight against power, and is still there, telling me that the cold evil has entered the body for more than 10 years and will wait to die. But I want to see what the consequences will be. Pei's house is here. Pei Menzi has been staring at the hot search, and has opened a trumpet to attack Zhou Qinjia. Until the hot search disappears in a second. The words "this Weibo involves false information" also appeared on the Weibo posted by Zhou Qinjia. Pei Menzi breathed a sigh of relief. But before he was completely relieved, he saw the Weibo of the Pei group. His expression changed greatly, and he immediately called to dissuade MRS Pei. I saw a newly created certified Weibo account forwarding this statement from the Pei group. MRS Pei, it's amazing, you are really talking nonsense with your eyes open, and you open your mouth to come. You know whether your son has a fiancé, and we can also find out. By the way, Miss S.I. asked us to bring you a sentence, a lawyer's letter for spreading rumors. You have to pay, reputation damage fee, you have to pay, get ready, smile. Don't you want to know what are the consequences of doing this? Miss S.I. also said that within 5 days, the Pei family company will collapse. Black fans, SI fucking really has a gold owner. Yin Huang, it's me. Black powder. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 112. Pei Menzi groaned when he saw the last line of words. Go back immediately to see the ID of the reposted Weibo. When he saw the word Star Court, he knew that other suffixes were not important. Starcourt Law Firm, even those who have never fought a case know this name. How did SI fucking invite him? But Paymenzi was relieved when he thought that SI fucking could see that something was wrong with his family just by looking at his face. The Zhou family is really a bunch of idiots. They obviously adopted a great god, but they don't know how to cherish it. The number of retweets and comments on this Weibo by the Starcourt Law Firm team is also on the rise. Will the Pei family collapse within 5 days? Who gave you the guts to say such a thing? Upstairs, if you look at the ID, you won't say such stupid things. Starcourt Law Firm is here to be the PR team. Damn, is SI fucking rich? More or less people in the fan circle know what kind of situation SI fucking is in TNL media. Not to mention a dedicated public relations team, even a nanny car and assistant are not equipped. The netizens who eat melon once loved SI fucking very much. The mooses were even more angry. Someone else opened an account with the ID as Kinking's wife terminated the contract with TNL Media today. Although Starcourt Law Firm shocked netizens, they couldn't understand the last sentence. SI fucking doesn't really have something in her body, you see, she said she asked for rain, maybe the Pei family will collapse. It's a coincidence, can there be a second time? Although the Pei family is not a big family in the country, can Link Hung also rank in the top 10, can a company of that size fail in 5 days? Sit and wait for 5 days, I have timed. Absolutely, what other stars have set up is the design of the tyrant and the foodie, SI Fu dumps it, and what is set up is the design of the metaphysics. Let's not talk about this, are you really blind and can't see Starcourt Law Firm, even the Pei family, the lawsuit is settled. Netizens saw it, and the manager of the public relations department was naturally not blind. His expression changed greatly, madam, it's Starcourt Law Firm. A special Weibo account was set up, apparently because of this matter, a special group was set up. Mrs. Pei glanced at it, her face was very ugly, can she hire Starcourt Law Firm? Starcourt Law Firm is located in North State, which is very far away from West State. But because of its reputation, Mrs. Pei naturally heard about it. Mrs. Pei also knew that it was easy to hire a lawyer from Starcourt Law Firm. Can you invite a group? This is not something that money can do. Starcourt Law Firm does not accept all cases. It has been running around in the private sector all the year round, helping some people who even have difficulties in life to file lawsuits, and their reputation will also follow. According to the Zhou family, SI fucking often has different cars to pick her up. The manager of the public relations department thought for a while, and said uncertainly, which of her sponsors should have invited her. No wonder, I want to find an honest person to take over the game when I have had enough fun, and squeeze into the circle of wealthy families in an instant. Mrs. Pei sneered, dreaming. It's impossible for me to agree. Give me a lawyer's letter and ask her to send it? Isn't it just money? The Pei family can't even give this money. The manager of the public relations department wiped his sweat, madam, this is not just about money, it is about the reputation of the group, which allows the public to. Mrs. Pei's face was ashen, ask the Zhou family, they must also give us an explanation, don't worry, the public will forget about it in a few days. This matter also involved the Zhou family. She didn't believe that the Zhou family could sit still. She wouldn't even believe what SI fucking said, that Pei's company would collapse. Simply ridiculous. Mrs. Pei pressed her temples and continued to work. On the Zhou family's side, Zhou Xianyu immediately dragged Zhou Qinjia out of the bedroom after receiving the call from Pei's family. You did a good job, Zhou Xianyu said coldly, how many people in our family have been admitted to the hospital recently? In a few days, the funeral of the fourth uncle will be held. If you want to die, I will send you to the equator for digging coal. Zhou Qinjia was so wronged, what did I do? Isn't this the one standing at the Pei family's side? Isn't it me, SI fucking? You are causing trouble. Zhou Xianyu's eyes were sharp. I warned you, don't confront Si fucking before I do it, and let her relax her vigilance, you know. Zhou Qinji's eyes lit up. Second sister, what are you going to do with her? You don't have to know, but she won't be arrogant for long. Zhou Xianyu said lightly, you have been calm to me recently, and don't let me find you doing things again. Zhou Qinji shrank her neck, but the lawyer's letter. Zhou Xianyu took a deep breath. I will go to Si fucking at that time. Only if she chooses to take a step back can you not go to court. Zhou Qinji nodded, and immediately took out her mobile phone and logged out of Weibo, not even having the courage to take a look at the comments. Star Court law firm took the initiative to attack, and the remarks of making rumors and causing trouble naturally disappeared. Even Pei's official and Zhou Qinji were beaten to the ground, not to mention the black fans and sailors who fished in troubled waters. The Star Court lawyer team quickly recorded the ads of all the rumors and submitted them to the headquarters, making sure to produce the lawyer letters as quickly as possible. Zhou Qinji's actions were quickly captured by them. Yo, this lady from the Zhou family has written off Weibo, isn't that just fear of crime? The young lawyer shook his head and lowered his voice. Sister Ling, is this Miss Si for real? We just found out that there is a little problem with the recent capital chain of the Pei family, but it won't lead to direct downfall. If we say that, won't they be seized by them? The elite woman was still writing documents, but she didn't look up when she heard the words, and said slowly, then let's wait 5 days and see. I don't know either. She was very curious as to what kind of identity Si fucking was, so that the headquarters could directly set up a team to come over. But she knew what to ask and what not to ask. The young man scratched his head and went to work. Night. Si fucking went to the courtyard of the villa. Today Yu Tang prepared a barbecue, and the dining table was placed in the yard. The aroma of the meat spread slightly, making people appetite. Yu Xian sat quietly by the side, holding a jade teacup in her hand. The faint moonlight fell on him, as if covered with a layer of frost and snow. Boss, I really don't need it. Si fucking sat down. There's no need to waste manpower and material resources and waste people and money. People's words are scary. Yu Xian's tone was cool. You have to be clear, words can hurt people and kill people. There are consequences for not letting them actually see, they won't remember. The entertainment industry will become like this. The atmosphere is too bad, we must start from the root. Aside, Feng San was stunned. Listening to this, his ninth brother should start to rectify the entertainment industry, right? I know Si fucking said, I just don't think it's necessary, and those who are clear will clear themselves. I said so. Yu Xian looked back at her and seemed to sigh softly. I don't want any of you to get hurt, including mentally. Si fucking was startled again. Has her boss experienced any major changes? Okay, she held her chin, her fox eyes curled up. I've accepted this PR team. Boss, you don't have to be polite to me if you have any requests. Yu Xian moved her eyebrows slightly, and said, you're welcome. Si fucking looked at him, why do you like to pick words so much? Yu Xian smiled and corrected, I'm not picking on words, I'm considering your words. You're too old to communicate with you. Si fucking turned his head, we have a generation gap. Yu Xian took a sip of tea slowly. Sure enough, it's a little girl's temper. Feng San asked cautiously, Miss Si, where is the Pei family? Si fucking took a bite of the beef, lazily, that Pei Menzi. I received the money, and if I save it, I will save it. As for what the Pei family has to do with me, I won't lose my blessings if I don't save it. Report. But I'm very curious about their head down here. I'll check it out another day. Maybe you will meet someone you know. Yu Xian put down the cup, be careful. Got it. Si fucking stretched, Tang, I'll go to the kitchen to get something to drink. Yu Tang's mouth was full of barbecue, and his hands were occupied, so he could only nod his head. Feng San remembered what Yu Zian had said before, and said very moved, "Ninth brother, I cleaned up some people that day, and today I found that my arm was injured, I dash." Yu Zian rolled up her sleeves and hummed, "There is medicine in the study, go get it yourself." Feng San. He may not be within the scope of anyone like his ninth brother. The next day. In the morning, Duffy's manager returned to Duffy's makeup line headquarters. He went to report the situation to the director, hesitated for a while, and said, "Director, I seem to have seen people from Daxiatai over SI fucking." Daxiatai, the director was surprised and straightened up suddenly, "Are you sure you read it right?" "It's a bit like," the manager pursed his lips, "when we went to the Daxiatai TV tower, I seem to have vaguely seen such a person. Director, Daxiatai will not sign SI fucking on the show, right?" "How is that possible?" the director smiled. "I saw SI fucking's clarification, right? But she's too risky. Who can stand her hot search again and again? Go and see who Daxiatai invited before, Dai Shuangzin, which one did SI fucking occupy?" The manager is now relieved. 2. Even they know how to avoid risks, how could Daxiatai not know that SI fucking is not suitable for cooperation at all? That's right, the director thought for a while, isn't this SI fucking from the Starry Sky Girls group? The captain of their group, I think it's pretty good. What do you think of the endorsement to her? The manager was stunned, Meng Shui? But Tianol Media also said that she is hitting the entertainment industry, and the recent endorsements are also from a few domestic first-tier brands, so I'm afraid she doesn't like us. The director pondered for a while, how much is the endorsement fee for SI fucking? 3 million. 3 million may not seem like a small sum of money, but in the entertainment industry, the endorsement fee is not so low. Okay, the director nodded, then mentioned the endorsement fee of 12 million and tell Tianol Media, please ask Meng Shui to pick it up. It has quadrupled. After all, Meng Shui was more popular than SI fucking, and he was really capable. The two were completely incomparable. The manager understands, I'll get in touch now. There is indeed a wall between idols and idols. SI fucking and Meng Shui are. Otherwise, how can one be the almighty captain and the other a background board? With Meng Shui as a spokesperson, he believes that Diffie's makeup line will soon become popular. As for SI fucking, whoever likes to sign can sign, it has nothing to do with them. On the other side, the Pei family. Pei Menzi suddenly opened his eyes, gasping for breath, "It's okay, I saw the sun the next day." He was really frightened all the time, for fear of burping in his sleep. Pei Menzi wiped his sweat and was about to read the news on the internet again when a phone call came in. "Dad, you finally called back." He picked it up immediately, "Come back quickly, our house is over." Pei Yan frowned, "What happened?" "I heard from the branch that the capital chain was broken, but it has been rescued." Pei Menzi said everything in a hurry. Pei Yan's expression changed, "Really?" Unlike MRS Pei Yan believed this. Whenever there is any project to start, it must also choose a good day and auspicious time. Then invite a special person to consecrate it, this is a good sign. After all, the history of the great Xia Empire for thousands of years, I don't know how many people live below, I want to pay tribute. Of course it's true, Dad. Pei Menzi was about to go crazy. Otherwise, why do you think I haven't even gotten a girlfriend yet? Your girlfriend didn't get it, that's why you can't. Pei Yan sneered, I'm ashamed to say that I feel ashamed for you. Pei Menzi. Dear Dad. Dad, I suspect that my mother was put down. Pei Menzi took a deep breath. She has a really big temper. She doesn't listen to me at all and tore up my amulet. And she didn't even care about the company's reputation, and directly spread rumors. Now it's good, and she has to accept the lawyer's letter. Your mother. Pei Yan frowned, I'll be back soon. Since I did something wrong, I have to apologize. You must apologize. Pei Menzi breathed a sigh of relief, but it's too late to apologize, you all offended her. Dad, ask yourself for more blessings, it's useless to give money. Hearing this, Pei Yan disapproved very much. You haven't been in contact with this aspect, and you don't know the real famous masters in the circle. They are really capable, so why do you have to pin your hopes on a little girl? I'll help you contact Master Miaoguang of Liushan Temple. You can go there in the afternoon and tell the master about it. I'm still busy here and will return to China in 3 days. Pei Yan ended the call without waiting for Pei Menzi to say anything. Pei Menzi hammered the table heavily. How can no one believe him? Pei Menzi thought for a while, then called Mrs. Pei again, and said, nonsense, Mom, I know I'm wrong, I shouldn't trust an outsider. Mom, my dad said that tomorrow I will accompany you to Liushan Temple for a walk trip. Mrs. Pei responded, okay, I'll go home now, we'll go right away. Pei Menzi was finally able to go out. He touched the talisman still in his pocket and let out a long sigh of relief. This is Pei Menzi's first visit to Liushan Temple. Liushan Temple is very large. It is halfway up the mountain, and there is a little monk cleaning the door. Pei Menzi was a little embarrassed. Until someone called him. Brother Mengji, why are you here too? Zokinja was very happy, we are really destined. You are destined to be uncle. Pei Menzi was so provoked that he exclaimed, stay away from me. Brother Mengji, you used to say that I was cute and cute. Zokinja felt wronged, why are you doing this now? I was blind before. Pei Menzi laughed angrily, you hurry up and let me see you again, don't blame me for being rude. Zokinja stomped her feet and said sharply, Brother Mengji, you really got your head down by fucking, look at you. The sweeping monk at the door said coldly and indifferently, Buddhism is clean, quiet, and noisy. Zokinja suddenly shut up. Because of the reservation in advance, Pei Menzi and Mrs. Pei went in first. Master Miaoguang is over 80 years old, but he is still in good spirits and has a childlike appearance. This cannot be maintained. Master Miaoguang, Madam Pei respectfully, we are here to ask you to answer your questions. Just 2 days ago, we met a yellow-haired girl who was full of nonsense. Master Miaoguang listened quietly. Until Mrs. Pei mentioned the talisman paper. What talisman paper? Master Miaoguang suddenly opened his eyes, can you take a look? Pei Menzi squeezed the talisman paper, then I will take it and show it to Master. He really didn't dare to take half a step away from his life-saving charm. It's said that your talisman paper is useless at all, why did you take another one? Madam Pei was terribly annoyed, it's just a piece of broken paper. Do you really think that yellow-haired girl is some kind of master? It's still wonderful. Master Guang is here to make an axe, I really. After a while, I will tear it up again, and the province will look upset. Master Miaoguang stood up and stepped forward, just glanced at it with a solemn expression. He put his hands together and respectfully said, excuse me, the donor, I don't know which master senior this talisman came from. Women's football won the championship. Our girls are the best. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 113. The place was quite quiet, so to speak. Even the little monk who was holding the lamp next to him was a little stunned. Master Miaoguang is indeed a well-known master in this circle. Anyone who travels to Linkhung is who will come to Liushan Temple to worship incense. It's just that some things can't be explained, even Master Miaoguang only vaguely mentions it. But even veiled remarks can benefit a lot. Master Miaoguang's reputation has also spread to other cities. Over the past few decades, Master Miaoguang has been in charge of Liushan Temple, and the incense of Liushan temple has become more and more prosperous. He has many disciples and is extremely respected. But when did you see him facing a piece of talisman paper, and you respectfully called the seniors? To make Master Miaoguang call a senior, what level of existence does that have to be? Xiao Monk put on Xiaoguang's skull, and knelt down with a thump. Madame Pei's voice stopped abruptly. She raised her head abruptly, looking at Master Miaoguang's respectful look. A certain string in her mind snapped and her ears were buzzing. Pei Menzi was also very surprised and stammered, "Master, are you called senior?" "Yeah." Master Miaoguang squeezed the talisman paper. "Senior, this talisman was obviously completed in one thought. This shows that the senior is not only skilled, but also extremely talented." He put his hands together and bowed again. "The younger generation has been working hard for decades, but still can't do it. I'm ashamed." The little monk beside him was even more shocked. The division of seniors and juniors in this circle pays attention to strength, not age. Even if you are young and old, if you meet a young master, you should respectfully call you a senior. Madame Pei's face froze, and her voice came from the depths of her throat, trembling violently. "Master means, is this talisman real?" "Naturally it's true." Master Miaoguang looked at Pei Meng from top to bottom. "This male benefactor has a miserable face, which is a sign of premature death, and he was lucky enough to escape before. But as time goes by, it will become more and more difficult to avoid. This talisman can save his life at a critical moment." Pei Menzi nodded excitedly. Yes, that's what she said." "Master, is there any help?" Madame Pei panicked. "Is there any help for my son?" "Madame's son has a good relationship, so don't worry." Master Miaoguang hit the nail on the head, "but Madame's situation is not very good. The loss of wealth is small, and the death is big." Mrs. Pei was struck with five thunders, her face turning pale with a swoosh. Pei Menzi asked, "Master, do you also know about my family's situation?" "Two donors, I'm really sorry." Master Miaoguang said a Buddha's name. "The poor monk is not good at learning skills, and the two donors have been entangled in cold evil for a long time, and they are incompetent to forgive the poor monk." Madame Pei couldn't believe it. "Can't even you? If you can ask the master to come out, maybe you can." Master Miaoguang shook his head. "It's a pity that the master has traveled around the world in the last century, and even the poor monk, who is an apprentice, doesn't know where he went." After a pause, his eyes sharpened a bit. "But since the two donors have seniors to help, why bother to look for the poor monk again?" Madame Pei forced a smile. "Master, this..." She now has the face to say that she not only doesn't believe it, but also thinks Sci-fi is a broom star. Master Miaoguang already understood. He shook his head. "It's a pity, Jingyuan, see off the guest." Madame Pei wanted to say something, but Master Miaoguang had already sat down again and closed his eyes. She just had to get out. The next person to ask to see is Zokinja. "Brother Menzi, what are you begging for?" She was very happy. "I'll beg for a charm for my grandma." Hearing this, Pei Menzi gave her a strange look. "Big fool." He was embarrassed to say these three words. Mrs. Pei stared at Zokinja. Her eyes were very bad. Zokinja was taken aback. Pei, you are..." "Let's go." Mrs. Pei said with a cold face. "Don't run to our house in the future, you're not welcome." Looking at the backs of the two, Zokinja was dumbfounded. Before she could say anything, she was urged by the monk next to her. Zokinja could only go in first. "Master, I'm Zokinja." She bowed. "I've been restless recently, I have nightmares every day, and my qi and blood are not enough, but there is nothing wrong with going to the hospital for an examination." "Entangled with me?" Master Miaoguang opened his eyes, and a second later, he said lightly, "Jingyuan, see off the guest." Zokinja was very unhappy. "Master, what do you mean? I spent money. Why let her leave?" Amitabha Master Miaoguang said lightly, God's sins can still be forgiven, self-inflicted sins cannot be lived. What self-inflicted sin? You make it clear. Zokinja was anxious, if you don't make it clear, I won't leave today. Master Miaoguang opened his eyes were like torches, and his voice became cold, you stole someone else's things, it's time to go back, and you dare to speak up here. Jing Yuan, see off. The little monk wiped his sweat and stepped forward, donor, please. What's the matter with you, monk? Zokinja was angry, she screamed, why did I rob someone else? Who did I rob? You say it. How can you slander people as a monk? But at the same time, she was a little guilty. She has Zhou Xianyu on it, the heir of the Zhou family who was meticulously cultivated. She and Zhou Zonghe were stocked. She really likes to steal other people's things, but where is the reason for returning it? The little monk forced Zokinja out, please don't disturb the master to rest. Dead bald donkey, Zokinja was so angry that she scolded, dead bald donkey, I want to go out and tell others that you are a god. A fake master. What a waste of her time. Zokinja was kicked out of Liushan temple, and she couldn't find Pei Menzi anywhere, so she could only go home. The other side. Pei Menzi and Mrs. Pei went down the mountain and were going to the parking lot. Mom, should you believe it now, Pei Menzi was very tired, do you know what you ripped? If it wasn't for Madame Pei's troubles, he would have 2 amulets. You said this was painted by Sci-fi? How could it be painted by herself? Madame Pei was angry, have you seen her painting? Of course I saw it. Pei Menzi laughed angrily, Mom, it's already time, don't you believe it? I just don't believe it, Madame Pei said coldly, maybe she heard it from somewhere, it's just nonsense. It's not that she doesn't believe it, it's that she can't accept it. Pei Menzi felt that this exchange could not go on at all, and his face was cold, Mom, if you think so, I can't help it, our family will just die. He strode forward. At this moment, there was a rapid whistle sound, and a large car rushed out and hit the direction of Pei Menzi. Pei Menzi's feet seemed to be imprisoned in place, his body was stiff and he couldn't move. Madame Pei turned pale with fright and lost her voice, Menji. The next second the cart was about to hit, Pei Menzi only felt his chest get hot. Immediately afterwards, as if pushed by an invisible hand, he fell backward uncontrollably and fell onto the steps. The cart whizzed past. Pei Menzi's legs went soft. He blankly touched the shirt pocket on his chest and found that there was only ashes left. The talisman blocks the robbery, and the talisman spontaneously burns. Madame Pei was in shock, her face was pale, Menji, hurry up and find Sci-fi, hurry up and find her. She believed it, and now she believed it completely. Nothing is more important than life. In the face of life and death, all arrogance is not worth mentioning at all. Even Master Miaoguang had no choice, she had to go to Sci-fi. Mom, what's the use of you talking about this now? Pei Menzi only felt tired, this is the young man you said. Don't say anything. Mrs. Pei's voice was filled with tears, go and beg her. Please help our family. Pei Menzi pursed his lips, I can only try it. If Mrs. Pei hadn't fixed it on Weibo, perhaps Sci-fi would have saved her for the sake of money. But now. Pei Menzi bit the bullet and sent a message to Sci-fi. The youth training base is here. All online matters are handed over to the Star Court legal team. Their efficiency is extremely high, and Sci-fi feels a lot easier. The day after tomorrow is the second performance of Youth and Youth, and it is also the second knockout round. This time the knockout round will eliminate more people, and the trainees are very nervous. After taking another day off, Lin Qingjian felt much better. She went to the lounge to rest, and happened to bump into Sci-fi who came out of the next room. Mr. Si, it seems that your treatment at TNL Media is indeed not good. Lin Qingjian smiled. I heard that Daifei's makeup manager came to you to sign the contract yesterday, and today they have news that the spokesperson has come to you. The captain, Meng Shui. I heard that Meng Shui's endorsement fee was 12 million yuan. I don't know how much was set for teacher SI at that time. SI fucking didn't speak, but threw the coke can in his hand. Lin Qingjian's face changed, and she forced a smile. Mr. SI, I have to go to the hospital, so let's go first. After speaking, he almost fled. SI fucking didn't take a look, returned to the dance studio, and then mercifully fed a certain Pixie 3 gold bricks. Xiaobai suddenly became alive. You said that you really deserve to be a Pixie, you just can't get in. SI fucking patted its fluffy head and sighed, you have eaten at least 15 gold bricks since you followed me this time. Now, I think your strength has recovered, you can't even speak. Spiritual beasts, understand human language, and understand human nature are the most basic. Xiaobai hummed a few times, and could only stretch out his paws to write on the ground. Si fucking looked at it, his eyes darkened a bit. You said that you were in a coma for a while, and then you woke up and lost your strength, then you left Liberty Island, wandered around, and then felt my coordinates, ran away. Xiaobai nodded. Seeing that Si fucking had been silent, he wrote a few more words. What are you thinking about? After a long while, Si fucking said, I was thinking, maybe I wasn't killed by the bomb. Xiaobai's eyes also changed, and he groaned anxiously. What are you worried about? I'm not alive. Si fucking patted its butt. Who am I, your master? I've never done anything before going into the sea. Wait, I'll definitely ride you back then. Prestige. Noob. It shouldn't expect anything from a narcissistic dog owner. Mr. Si, your cell phone rang. Su Ziun came over, it rang several times, and it seems to be in a hurry. Yes, I fucking didn't look at it, lazily, someone will handle it, ignore them, let's continue. Madame Pei and Pei Menzi were waiting outside the training base. Until 6 o'clock in the afternoon, the gates of the training base were still closed. Mrs. Pei couldn't stand anymore. Mengji, can we go in? Let's go in. You can't go in, you will definitely be kicked out. Pei Menzi shook his head. Mom, give it up, she won't save our family, at least you. Mrs. Pei's body swayed, and her heart was overwhelmed with remorse. Knowing that Si fucking had real skills, how could she be on Weibo? Just as Mrs. Pei was waiting anxiously, a car stopped. The door opened, and the elite woman in the suit jumped down and came straight to her. Mrs. Pei was a little wary, but she was still very unhappy. Who are you? I'm busy now, and I don't have time to tell you anything else. Hello, Mrs. Pei, I'm a lawyer from Starcourt Law Firm, and I'm responsible for all external public relations and various lawsuits for Miss Si. The woman had a formulaic smile. This is your lawyer's letter, and you need to pay reputation damage. She took out a business card. Starcourt Law Firm, Lingfeng. There is also a red 5-pointed star at the back. This represents the core lawyers of Starcourt Law Firm. One slap can be counted. Lingfeng slapped the lawyer's letter in the hands of the stunned Mrs. Pei, and suddenly smiled. Mrs. Pei, do you know how the Chen family disappeared? Offended the Yu family and was cleaned up. Mrs. Pei didn't know why she asked that, so she was stunned. Why, isn't it? Thank you for your support and monthly ticket rewards, see you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 114. If a family as big as the Chen family can collapse, with this kind of ability, the Daxia Empire will also be the Yu family. Of course, the 3 major families and the 4 major alliances can't even get in touch with ordinary wealthy families, so Madame Pei didn't think about it. Almost one day and one night, the Chen family disappeared in Linkhung. The companies under the group were also found to have a lot of problems and all were sealed up. But those who are in the family business these days do not dare to say that they are absolutely innocent, and they are more or less involved in some gray areas. Besides offending the huge business empire of the Yu family, who else could the Chen family offend? MRSP also heard some rumors from the circle. It is said that the Chen family and the President Lu teamed up to make the daughter of the Yu family. It's simply insane. No matter how crazy she was, she couldn't be crazy enough to offend the Yu family. MRSP is just clear. Ling Feng smiled, with a bit of meaning. Your Miss Lai Yisai already knows. I'm sorry, she is busy with the students and really has no time to care about your family's affairs. And since MRSP doesn't believe it, why should she condescend to come here again, do you think so? MRSP's face turned pale little by little, cold sweat broke out on her back, and her throat was dry. I believe it. I believe it. Attorney Ling, please go and tell Miss Si, I really believe it. Trust her. Regret is not enough to describe MRSP's current mood. She can already imagine that if she didn't tear up Pei Menzies' talisman, but paid more attention and went to ask Si fucking early, where would it be like this? How could she be so confused? Ling Feng didn't respond to the sentence. She smiled at Pei Menzie again. Of course, Miss Si keeps her word. She will help Mr. Pei to the end, and ask Mr. Pei to prepare her own treasury as promised. She will meet tonight. Go to Pei's house to see. It should be. Pei Menzie's tone was not Panasonic. My family really can't do anything. Bankruptcy he would look down on. At most, the quality of life will be reduced in the future. The most important thing is life. He really wanted to know who had manipulated their family and wanted to destroy his family. Then see if the Pei family can come up with something that makes Miss Si tempted. Ling Feng took a step back and smiled. Don't think that money can solve everything. If you are short of money, Miss Si will not be short. After she finished speaking, she ignored the mother and son and returned to the car. Sister Ling, you are really scary on the side of the driver's seat. The young lawyer was excited. Look at how you scared them both. Ling Feng graduated from the law department of Xia University. When he was a junior, he was discovered by Star Court Law Firm. He has extremely strong business skills and has never lost in court. Her style has always been soft and hard, and a few words can make the other lawyer speechless. The public relations team established this time is also headed by Ling Feng. Young lawyers are very impressed. I didn't scare them. It was Miss Si. Ling Feng thought thoughtfully. Perhaps there are really many things in this world that science can't explain. The young lawyer muttered and started the car. He saw that Miss C's appearance was astonishing, but other than her appearance, there seemed to be nothing special about her. Even Ling Feng was sent from the headquarters, and it was indeed a little overkill. The young lawyer shook his head, then concentrated on driving. Roadside. MRSP took the lawyer's letter and said blankly, Mengji, what should I do now? What should I do, you still ask me? Pei Menzi pressed his temples, trying to be calm. Mom, if you had believed me earlier, would something like this happen? Madame Pei was dumbfounded. She really didn't expect the situation to be so serious at the time, but she was angry that Pei Menzi didn't listen to her discipline and ate inside and out. Let's go home first. MRSP held him tightly. Don't go out yet. If something falls from the sky in a while, it will be bad. Pei Menzi snorted coldly. There might be an earthquake at home. MRSP was so angry that her heart and lungs hurt. Shut up. Pei Menzi said nothing, and the two went home. At 8 o'clock in the evening, it was completely dark. MRSP kept standing at the door and waited anxiously for a long time until she saw a bicycle. She was stunned. Si fucking got off the bicycle, put the bag on his right shoulder, and walked forward unhurriedly. She always dresses casually and loosely. A t-shirt with a pair of light-colored jeans, long hair tied in a ponytail with a black hair tie. Even in such a simple attire, it is still difficult to hide her charming eyes. Si fucking just walked to the door of Pei's house. Mrs. Pei knelt on the ground with a thump. Master. I don't know Mount Tai. I not only misunderstood you but also slandered you. I'm really sorry. Mrs. Pei kowtowed. Please save the Pei family. Aren't you dead yet? Si fucking walked over. Don't worry, and don't kneel on me, I don't like it. Mrs. Pei didn't dare to kneel, and immediately got up. Please come from the master. Miss Si, everyone is cleared. Pei Menzi came over. I have given him a holiday, the housekeeper. Mrs. Pei glared at him. What's your name, Miss Si, master? Pei Menzi. Damn, this is from one disease to another. Si fucking ignored it, but paced around the yard. Madame Pei was trembling. Master, do you see anything? The locust tree is planted in front of the door, and it is also planted in these key places. It's very courageous. Si fucking applauded her. You guys are sorry for this layout if you don't die. Mrs. Pei's legs were weak, she leaned against the wall. Master, what should we do? These trees have all been chopped down. Si fucking said lightly. It's best to think about who told you that planting like this will attract money. After all, it's a big family in Linkhung, and you can't even hire a good feng shui master. Feng shui masters are naturally not as powerful as onmyoji masters. After all, feng shui masters only know how to tell fortune telling and arrange feng shui. Si fucking took out a piece of paper from his bag, tore it a few times, and then blew the piece of paper into the air. Miss Si, what is that? Pei Menzi was confused. It looks like a dog, and a bit like a pixiu. Si fucking's eyes were cold. Do you know if you need it? Can you use it? Her paper shikigami really looks like a dog pixiu, and was mocked by Ji Xingzi. Of course, in the end, she was beaten so hard that she couldn't get up. Mrs. Pei glared at Pei Menzi and slapped him on the head. Listen to the master. Pei Menzi shut up again. After Si fucking checked, he straightened up. Where is your room? The third floor, Madame Pei said hurriedly. The third room. Si fucking went upstairs and pushed open the bedroom door. There are not many things in the bedroom, the bed is a little messy, and the rest of the place is very clean. Pei Menzi still felt ashamed. Si fucking took a few steps and stopped in front of a wooden floor. Pry it open. She didn't need to say more. Pei Menzi immediately found the tools and started to pry the floor. With a bang, the floor broke. But surprisingly, the bottom is not concrete, but empty. Pei Menzi's heart skipped a beat. Si fucking had already squatted down and put his hand in. After a few seconds, she took out a box. There are weird and complicated patterns on the box, like some kind of ancient writing. After the box was opened, there was a porcelain jar and a very permeable rectangular stone block. Madame Pei's face turned pale again. Master, dare to ask what this is? The ashes, the yin card. Si fucking casually said. It's been buried for more than 10 years, don't be afraid, you have it in your bedroom, and it's soaked with rain and dew. Hearing these two words, Madame Pei rolled her eyes and almost fainted. Tisk, a familiar technique. Si fucking suddenly smiled, his eyes curled. It's a pity that after so many years, I haven't made any progress, what a waste. Pei Menzi didn't understand, but he didn't dare to ask. I took this box. Si fucking stood up, you can do the rest. Mrs. Pei's body trembled, but she stopped talking. Let me remind you. Si fucking turned his head, who can be so familiar with the layout of your home? Mrs. Pei shuddered. Duh, what does the master mean, is it a relative? Si fucking didn't speak anymore. She carried her bag and went outside, lazily unlocking her bicycle. Let's go. Pei Menzi wanted to stop her, but was stopped by Mrs. Pei. It is a blessing for the master to condescend to come to our house for inspection today. Don't go any more. But the situation in our family. Pei Menzi annoyed Mrs. Pei, but she was his mother after all, and he still wanted to save her. But even Master Miao Guang had no choice, they could only ask Sci-fi for help. Save your life first, Madam Pei, calm down, I'll discuss with your dad now to see which room wants to attack us. Also, remember to give these cards to Miss Si. I'll find out if our ancestors have anything. I'll go to the company to record an apology video tomorrow morning. Sci-fi is not an ordinary person, but she really cannot impress her with money. After Mrs. Pei finished speaking, she hurried away. Pei Menzi scratched his head, this works too quickly. It seems that he just cut down a few trees and changed the position of a few ornaments. His temperament has obviously improved a lot, and he stopped yelling at him. Although he was a strong woman before, he was not so unreasonable. It seems to be related to this feng shui layout. Pei Menzi frowned. He also had to check to see who was trying to harm them. Noon the next day. Zhou Tianfeng returned to Zhou's house. He has been haggard a lot this month, and now he is blue and black. The company's business was urgent, and he was also busy with the funeral of the fourth master of the Zhou family, so he finally got such a short rest. Madame Zhou just came out of the hospital, and her face was still very bad. Dad, Grandma, that Liaoshan temple is a fake, Zhou Qinjia complained indignantly. I went to see the monk Miao Guang, who was hailed as a master by them yesterday, but do you know what he said? Madame Zhou had also heard of Master Miao Guang's reputation, and she frowned. What did you say? Also, don't be disrespectful to Master. He's a fake monk, he doesn't understand anything at all, why am I being disrespectful to him? Zhou Qinjia snorted coldly. I kindly asked him what was wrong with me, but he actually said that I stole someone else's things. It's time to go back, and you scolded me for being ashamed, can I not be angry? Bang! The cup in Madame Zhou's hand fell to the ground, her face pale for a moment. Grandma, Zhou Xianyu hurriedly stepped forward, are you okay, Grandma? Turning his head and reprimanding Zhou Qinjia, Grandma has just been discharged from the hospital, can you say a few words less? Zhou Qinjia was also taken aback, I didn't say anything. Why is Mrs. Zhou's reaction so big? No, it's fine. Madame Zhou was in a trance, and hurriedly grabbed Zhou Qinjia's arm and asked anxiously, apart from these? Did Master Miao Guang say anything else? Zhou Qinjia shrank her neck, no, I was kicked out after I scolded his bald donkey. As if she was exhausted, Madame Zhou slumped on the sofa, impossible, it's impossible. She did know that the old man Zhou brought Sci-fi back just to warm the Zhou family with Sci-fi's air transport. Later, she saw that the Zhou family was booming in business and other areas, so she believed what Mr. Zhou said. But the old man Zhou once told her that Sci-fi's luck will always be used by them, even if it is a dead person, as long as it is buried in the family grave. How could there be any signs of returning? Madame Zhou suddenly looked at Zhou Xianyu. Zhou Xianyu frowned, Grandma, why are you looking at me like this? You've been busy recently, and Grandma is worried about your body. Mrs. Zhou smiled covertly, how has your work been recently? Is there anything that makes you feel difficult? Speaking of this, Zhou Tianfeng was very pleased, Mom, thanks to Xianyu, the company has signed several big orders. With Xianyu here, I can retire early. That's good, Madame Zhou breathed a sigh of relief and murmured, it seems that it's not all returned. Zhou Xianyu's ear tip, Grandma, what did you say? It's nothing. Madame Zhou shook her head, I'm going to go out for a walk in a few days. She didn't dare to go to Liaoshan temple. It would be bad if Master Miao Guang saw something again. But Zhou Xianyu was not affected. Zhou Tianfeng answered the phone. Just picked up, there was eager, hey, Tianfeng, when did you provoke the Pei family? Provoking the Pei family, Zhou Tianfeng was taken aback, what do you mean? Look at Weibo yourself, he didn't want to say more. Brother, the Pei family is not as good as your Zhou family, but you should also think about the old lady of the Pei family. That's a person from the 49 cities, who was married from a lowly position, can you mess with it? The other party hurriedly hung up the phone. Zhou Tianfeng's face sank. Quick, open Weibo for me. The housekeeper hurriedly handed over the phone. It was the official Weibo of the Pei family. In 10 minutes, the number of retweets has exceeded 20,000, and it has entered the top 10 of hot searches. At Paishijrup, I am Yang Huizhu, the mother of the Pei family. I am deeply ashamed for what I have done, so I apologize to Miss Si on the whole network. Please supervise all netizens, this matter will never happen again. A video is attached below. Mrs. Pei bowed a dozen times in front of the camera. She was very sincere, and also told about Zhou Qinjia going to Pei's house to make irresponsible remarks. Apologized again that she shouldn't listen to others, but it was her who was more at fault. Netizens were moved by the news. Big news, the giants apologized to a star. It's a humming video, isn't this more powerful than the small compositions of those stars? To be honest, receiving a lawyer's letter means losing face. It's even more difficult to take the initiative to apologize. So the most disgusting thing is Zhuojia, vomit. When did Zhou Qinjia, the Zhou family, die? You did so many unconscionable things when you were young. Growing up is so vicious. Laughing to death, the Pei family slapped the Zhou family in the face in a blink of an eye, but the Pei family's scholarly family, it is indeed impossible to ask Zhou Qinjia, a crazy woman. The Zhou family can also look at Zhou Xianyu. Although he hates the Zhou family, Zhou Xianyu is indeed the elite among the elites, and his business talent makes people feel ashamed. What's going on? Ah, Zhou Tianfeng roared, why did the Pei family meet our family? And you Zhou Qinjia, how many times have you said it? How can you be embarrassed if a celebrity has to look like a lady? Zhou Qinjia's tears fell from being yelled at. Dad, didn't I do this before? Who knew it would become like this time? It used to be before, and now it is now. Zhou Tianfeng was so angry that his temples jumped. Do you have to kill yourself to be happy? I really don't know. Zhou Qinjia cried out, why is the Pei family like this? Could it be that Aunt Pei was also dropped by the bastard Si fucking? Zhou Tianfeng roared again, you are really talking nonsense. The door was knocked at this moment. Zhou Tianfeng was upset, go and open the door. Zhou Qinjia didn't dare to resist and walked over to open the door. Hello, Miss Zhou Qinjia. It was Ling Feng who came. She looked Zhou Qinjia up and down, reached out and took out a document, and smiled slightly, this is your lawyer's letter. In addition, your rumored Weibo has been forwarded more than 500 times, which has caused great damage to Miss C's reputation. As well as what you did in the past, Miss Si should also forget about it now. Ling Feng took a step back and said lightly, grab it. Si fucking, I am a salted fish. Moose, no, you are not. Asterisk. I get a lot more every day, twice as much as other authors. The old readers who have followed me know that my cervical spine and arms are not good, but it has always been updated and stable. I can make more and more, definitely more. Don't urge more. Play a low star. Only 5 stars are useful for the data, our data is more likely to explode. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 115. Only then did Zhou Qinjia see that Ling Feng was followed by 2 police officers. She was really panicked now. What did I do? Zhou Qinjia's face turned pale and she kept stepping back. Why does Si fucking let people arrest me? More than a month ago, just before Miss Si appeared on the youth program, you once again added peanuts to her diet, which made her allergic. Ling Feng's tone was slow, but very oppressive. She should have spent more time in the hospital recuperating, but she got up and went to the show anyway. Also, 3 months ago, you tricked Miss Si into the clubhouse. There are a few playboys you specially recruited. If Miss Si didn't respond quickly, I'm afraid she would not be alive now. Well, the most recent time was when you tried to poison Miss C's cosmetics, but it turned out to be the wrong person. Every piece violated Miss C's right to life and health. Miss Zokinja, what else do you have to say? Is it? Ling Feng has fought many lawsuits, including the murder of a wife and fraud, and the murder of a baby girl. She is also used to seeing disputes between rich and powerful families. She has collected a lot of information about the Zhou family, but she still can't understand why the Zhou family adopted Si fucking. But it doesn't matter. She just needs to maintain Si fucking's reputation. Zhou Qinja's face turned pale. You have no evidence. You can't arrest me. Miss Zhou Qinja is really joking. Ling Feng smiled again. Without evidence, how could I have applied for an arrest warrant? Hearing the last three words, Zhou Qinja's eyes darkened and she fell directly to the ground. The other Zhou family members could hear the conversation between the two clearly. Zhou Tianfeng rushed out. What's going on? Why are you going to get into trouble? The two police officers have handcuffed Zhou Qinja. No, Madame Zhou leaned on crutches and poked the ground anxiously. You can't catch Qinja. This is MRS Zhou, right? Ling Feng turned her head. Old MRS Zhou looks quite young, apart from her poor health. Madame Zhou had a ghost in her heart, so she forced a smile. Lawyer Ling is really good at talking. Really, you ask me to see Ching Ching? Let me tell her, she won't be so heartless. In fact, she couldn't figure out such a mysterious thing as luck, but she knew that luck was very important to people. The entire Zhou family is plundering Si fucking's luck, and Zhou Qinja naturally has it. Even if he went back, he wouldn't end up in jail, would he? Miss Si asked me to give you a word. Ling Feng restrained his smile and said coldly, what the Zhou family did, it seems that only you know it well. Don't worry, when she takes back her things, the Zhou family will end up worse than the Chen family. Old Madame Zhou's face was also pale. She knows. She actually knows. Zhou Xianyu was slightly stunned. What does this mean? How could she not understand? The two police officers took away the crying Zhou Qinja. Ling Feng was too lazy to say anything to the Zhou family, and left. She walked to the car and made a phone call. Hello, Miss Si, the matter has been done. Okay, we will wait for your order later. Zhou's house is located in the wealthy area of Linkheng. Although the confidentiality is strong, there is no way to hide the fact that the police officer comes to the door. In Si fucking super words, there is also a well-informed MUSI who posted a photo of Zhang Zhou Qinja's arrest. Report from the front, very happy, Zhou Qinja was arrested. Good catch. When is the court session? I'll be sure to watch it on time. I want to kill this vicious woman and bully my wife like that. Woo 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 wife, what a dire day you had in the past. Just do it. What are you doing to rob my wife? In order to understand Si fucking in an all-round way, Shang Lu also specially posted a Weibo, joined Kaihua and became a member of the Music Corps. When he saw the new post, he was surprised. Miss Si, don't you say that you can't move Zhuojia. Even though the Zhou family is the largest wealthy family in Linkheng, the Qinjun League can easily be leveled. Huh? Si fucking raised his eyebrows. As soon as the things come back, they will naturally do it. Come one by one, don't worry. Shang Lu didn't understand, but he was very knowledgeable and didn't ask. I'm going to my boss's place today. Si fucking wiped his hands and stood up. After you walk the dog at 9 o'clock, put it under my apartment. Okay, Shang Lu responded immediately, I'll send Miss Si out. In the past 2 days, he has also undertaken the work of assistant, which is not as difficult as he imagined. Outside the training base, the car has long been parked. Feng San also finally saw the person sent by the Qinjun League for the first time. He didn't like Shang Lu anywhere. Miss Si, he doesn't look like he has any muscles. Let me tell brother Jew, let's send someone here. I don't have any muscles. Let's go, Shanglu crossed his neck, annoyed, let's fight. A fight is a fight. Feng San immediately took off his jacket and went to the side with Shanglu to fight. On the surface, it was an open and secret battle between the two guards. But in reality, it was the turbulent situation between the two forces of the Mo family and the Qinjun alliance. Feng San also wanted to know which side was the better in the past few hundred years. Sci-fi got into the car, picked up a chocolate biscuit from the box, and glanced at it. They are so naive. Hearing this, Yu Xian raised her head slightly. It's quite naive. Yu Tang sat in the co-pilot seat, not afraid of the big incident, and began to applaud. Fight! Fight! After a few minutes, the two returned. Feng San's face was blue, but Shang Lu's nose was blue and his face was swollen. Miss Si, you can't be a guard, Feng San said with a little pride. He can't beat me. Si glanced at him. Feng San, of course I can't beat Miss Si. He didn't even dare to do it. What are you arrogant about? Shang Lu's face turned red. I'm still young, I can continue to grow. Feng San, you are sick, attack your age. He is only in his early 20s and very young, okay. Yu Xian smiled and sighed softly, let's go. Feng San snorted coldly and drove away. From the beginning to the end, Shang Lu couldn't catch a glimpse of the people in the car. He was so curious that he grabbed his mobile phone and immediately contacted Zhang Shuiyan, report to Team Zhang. When Miss Si goes to Sijukan, I will apply to go to the villain's cave for training. Don't you want to go? Zhang Shuiyan was surprised on the other end of the phone. Why did you remember to go again? Shang Lu gritted his teeth. I was beaten down today by someone Miss Si knew, and I want to call back. Good thing. Zhang Shuiyan raised his eyebrows. You really have to train well and grasp this position. You should know how many people are watching. Not because of Mu Kingmen's orders, but because of his sincere admiration for Si. Some team members have complained to Zhang Shuiyan. Shang Lu became vigilant. I know. I won't let them succeed. Fortunately, he can bend and stretch, seize the opportunity. Zhang Shuiyan nodded. Let's talk about it later. It's not easy to apply for the place in the villain's cave now. You are over the age again. I will show you. Thank you, Team Zhang. After finishing the call, Shang Lu bent down. Hey, Xiao Bai, why do you think Miss Si is so powerful? By the way, what kind of dog are you? I really haven't seen it before. Xiao Bai raised his paw and slapped him on the head. When Shang Lu was in pain, he saw Xiao Bai looking at him with a look of extreme contempt, as if saying, call daddy. Shang Lu. As expected of Miss Si's dog. The exact same temperament. The next day. The knockout round is about to start in the evening, and the trainees have stepped up their training. Lu Yan, you are very dangerous, one of the top 9 trainees said with a smile, although we can't see the number of votes yet, but Xiaoyu's popularity, we can't keep up even if we add up. Tianol Media, a big company in the entertainment industry, tried its best to support a person, but it still hit a wall, which is really exciting. Lu Yan's face was cold. Whether his performance today can go smoothly is still unknown. Hearing this, the trainee frowned. What do you mean by that? The practitioners also knew that Mui was a bit arrogant as a human being, but everything was led by Lu Yan. Lu Yan was definitely involved in the incident where Xiaoyu's dance suit was put on the blade. The bad thing is that there is no evidence. Don't look at me, Lu Yan smiled. There is no camera here, and I won't do anything. I'm not that stupid, just watch. Lu Yan, Li Jingchen called out to him, come here and let teacher Huang give you some pointers. Lu Yan immediately returned to his serious expression, come here, teacher Li. He left, leaving several trainees looking at each other. What the hell did he do? One of the boys said, should we go and tell Xiaoyu? Xiaoyu is a bit arrogant and difficult to approach, but he is upright, and he is willing to help others when he really gets in touch. I don't know how much better than Lu Yan's heart. Really, the other boy hesitated for a while. If something happens, Tianal media will hold us against us, then. Yakinja stood up. Let me tell you, it's better to let them have a sense of precaution. The performance is very important to us. On the other side, dance room number 2. Su Ziun glared at the young man in front of him. You quit at this time, aren't you playing with us? Where can we find new accompaniment? The young man sighed. This is not what I want to see. Please don't embarrass us, Miss Si. Si fucking supported his head and nodded slightly. You mean, your band has something to do tonight and can't accompany you? Sorry, Miss Si. The young man pursed his lips. It's really not intentional, and it's not something I can control. I'm just in the circle, and I can't offend the people above. Tonight's performance, we can only withdraw. Okay, I see. Si fucking's expression didn't change. Go out. He's going too far. Su Ziun was furious. Brother Xie, since we came to Teacher Si, we really haven't felt safe. Some equipment was robbed in the front, and then the accompaniment group withdrew. Although this matter has nothing to do with the director and planning, but in fact the program team is putting pressure on them. The director and planner can only be responsible for the recording and other preparations of the program at most, and they have little right to speak. What really matters is the general producer and capital above. Whoever capital wants to support, that is, whoever is determined to support, no one can stop it. Obviously, Lu Yan is the default C position of capital. It's just that even the capital did not expect that Xiaoyu's popularity would be uncontrollable. Coupled with the enthusiasm that Si fucking gave him, Xiaoyu can be said to be a top performer, and the number of votes is also a fault with the second place. Capital can only start to suppress from various aspects. The accompaniment group this time is another suppression. The second public performance program group invited a fixed accompaniment group for each group, and strived to achieve the best effect. The accompaniment troupe they invited is also well known in the circle. Originally everything worked out very well, but when it came to the performance, something like this happened again. Now that the troupe has withdrawn, and there is no music and drum accompaniment, how can they perform? This has nothing to do with the accompaniment troupe. I didn't hear him say that someone was speaking from above. Si fucking smiled lazily. And what is this, the real darkness in the entertainment industry? You haven't seen it yet? Su Ziun muttered, I don't want to see it anymore. Xiaoyu's expression was indifferent, and his eyebrows narrowed. Mr. Si, I'm going out to make a phone call. There is a band I know over there. Su Ziun opened his mouth. Brother Xie, it's too late. The performance is going to be held at 7 o'clock in the evening. Now that the accompaniment group has withdrawn, it is impossible to form another one. Even if they could invite the top bands in Daxia, they would not be able to cooperate with them perfectly in such a short period of time. Su Ziun understood this very well. Don't panic, don't be afraid. Si fucking bent over and weighed bass. She plucked a few chords at random, her tone still casual. I'll go in time. Winter Olympics, our athletes are amazing. See you tomorrow. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 116. As soon as these words came out, the entire dance studio fell silent. Xiaoyu's footsteps stopped. Xiyu and the other two trainees also looked over in astonishment. Teacher Si, are you kidding me? Su Ziun stammered, you are a mentor. How can a mentor join the trainees' performance? Why can't you? Si fucking held the bass with a relaxed and calm expression. Anyway, someone will stop you from performing, so you can do it yourself. She plucked the strings a few more times, the fox's eyes narrowed, and he looked at him lightly. Why, do you think I can't do it? No, 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 of course not, Suzy-un hurriedly said, I'm just afraid that they will say gossip again. Don't worry, of course it can't be me alone. I fucking smiled, I'll find another one for you. I met a drummer when I was singing in a bar. We cooperated well, and he has a strong sense of music. He can listen to music several times and perform live directly. I am very assured of him. He should be in Daxia recently and can come over. As soon as the sentence came out, Xiaoyu couldn't hold back his voice, singing at the bar. Don't pay attention to these details. I fucking looked lazy. I used to like to play, run around in the West. I've done a little bit of everything, and I can earn some money by the way, isn't it good? Suzy-un's voice was difficult. Mr. Si, are you sure it's really just a little? Not an expert level dimensionality reduction strike? Yes, I fucking touched his chin. I sang at the bar for 3 days and earned tens of thousands of dollars in tips. I heard that when I left, the guests cried. She was quite impressed by this incident. It was T-18's mission in the Western continent to encircle and suppress a drug dealer organization. She and the third senior sister were in charge of inquiring about information in the bar. Since she is not very social and can only do things, she was assigned to sing. And her third senior sister was in charge of the routine at the bar. Mr. Si, where did you learn it? Suzy-un was mad. I'm a year older than you, why can't I know anything? He really is a piece of shit. In the game Si fucking stretched his waist. According to the time in the game, I have learned it for hundreds of years, so it is understandable that I will click. Suzy-un. WTF. No, he clearly knew every word, but he couldn't understand the last word together. And hearing this, Xiaoyu's eyes suddenly became dark and unpredictable. Okay, keep practicing, don't worry too much. Si fucking raised his chin and smiled cynically. Get ready for tonight's performance. Xiaoyu's position C is not allowed to move. Suzy and Xiu, which position are you going to take? Suzy-un said loudly, top 12. Xiu hurriedly connected, top 20. Si fucking nodded. Remember, our ultimate goal is for everyone in the class to debut. After she went out, Suzy-un was still at a loss, and finally remembered another important point. No. Mr. Si, how many jobs have you worked before? Lounge. Si fucking sat on the soft chair. She tapped her fingers on the table, pondered for a moment, and then slowly opened a foreign social software. She is logged into an account. There is only one contact in the account. The avatar is a black and white drum set, in the style of rock rap. The nickname is also a simple letter S, and the whole person looks lonely and cold. Si fucking opened his avatar and sent a message. 9. I read the latest news from your fans on the internet. Are you in Daxia? Come to the city. In less than 3 seconds, there was a reply in the dialog box. S:? 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 There were 3 question marks in a row. S, fraud. Oh no, you were a corpse. Si fucking. She smiles. How does this fellow talk? 9. I declare in advance that I am missing for a last resort reason. It is related to personal safety. I used to worry that it might implicate you, but now I am worried that you think I have been ripped off. Si fucking held his chin and sighed. She suddenly became 6 years younger and changed her face. No one would believe her at all. If she speaks out, she may be arrested by the occupational authority. S, no time, no appointment, I am also dead, a corpse. 9, make a song for you. S:? S, the deal is done, we will talk about it when it arrives. Trivial. Si fucking put away the phone and slowly kicked the door. On the side of dance studio number 2, Yakinja came in from outside. He knocked on the door first, politely, "Xiaoyu, classmate." Xiaoyu raised his eyes and walked over with long legs. "What's wrong?" "I just heard Lu Yan say that it's a question of whether you can perform tonight." Ye Qingzhe frowned. "I don't know what he did again, so I'll come and tell you." "Well, thank you." Xiaoyu squinted. "There will be no problem with the performance, you don't have to worry, take care of yourself." "Is it really okay?" Ye Qingzhe was still very worried. "I also heard that Lu Yan's mother's family is very powerful, and it is a very strong family in Dongzhou. He has family connections behind him, and he is determined to make him a new top player in the entertainment industry. You must be careful." "A strong family in Dongzhou." Xiaoyu paused, his expression and tone were sincere. "I've never heard of it. Except for the Ji family. But the Ji family hasn't come out for a long time." "Yeah, we ordinary people don't have access to this level." Ye Qingzhe patted him on the shoulder. "Anyway, if you can avoid it, you will be punished by force, and capital can't do anything about its real strength. The final C position must be yours." Xiaoyu smiled. "Thank you." The two were talking when a voice came from behind. "What are we talking about?" Ye Qingzhe was startled. As soon as he turned around, he hurriedly said, "Hello, Teacher Si." "I remember you." Si fucking raised his eyebrows. "It seems to be from Teacher Mo's class. The vocal instructor's surname is Mo, and he is quiet and indisputable. The students in the class are fairly well behaved, neither strong nor too bad. But Ye Qingzhe's progress is very fast. He was Class C the first time he was assigned, and Class A the second time. Now the personal likes are ranked 5th, which can be said to be firmly in the debut position." "Yes, Teacher Si." Ye Qingzhe didn't dare to look at her, so he looked at her like that. His face was already red. "I'll come over and talk to Xiaoyu, and I'll leave." Si fucking nodded. "Well, come on." "Thank you, Teacher Si." Ye Qingzhe's face turned even redder, and ran away like the wind under his feet. "Humph. I can see that this man surnamed Ye has bad intentions against Teacher Si. You can see that he is blushing." Su Ziun clenched his fists. "Mr. Si, please let me punish him with all my strength." Si fucking kicked him. "Let's see if I will punish you first with an iron fist of justice." Su Ziun shut up. "Teacher Si." Xiaoyu nodded. "Qingzhe told me that it was Lu Yan who did it, and it seems that his family was involved. Does Teacher Si know of any strong family in Dongzhou?" "Dongzhou is very strong." Si fucking recalled. "No. In addition to Ji Xingzi's dog thing, is there a strong one? Could it be that her intelligence system is falling behind again? Okay, soldiers will come to block, and water will come to cover." Si fucking clapped his hands. "I said I will send you out, and you will be able to debut." There is a transparent and indifferent temperament between her eyebrows and eyes, which is miraculously convincing. "Of course I believe Teacher Si." Su Ziun leaned over. "But who is the drummer that Teacher Si is looking for?" Si fucking was already lying on the ground, his head resting on his arms. "Surnamed Su. Hurry up and practice, stop gossiping, I'll rest for a while." Su Ziun didn't dare to disturb her, so he went to the other side and scratched his head. "Su? Still a drummer?" He suddenly seemed to remember something, and slapped his forehead. "It can't be God Su. 3 years ago, a talented musician was born in the Great Xia Empire. Su Yang. Only 22 years old. He does not have a combination, from writing lyrics to composing and arranging music is done by himself. Even though his social account was only updated in 10 days and a half, the number of fans on Weibo has exceeded 40 million. This is the real top stream. Without the addition of capital, it is entirely on its own. This is impossible." Xiaoyu stammered. "That's God Su, how could he be our drummer? And he's not a drummer, he knows a lot." Xiaoyu thought thoughtfully. "Maybe, but we'll know when the time comes." "It shouldn't be, brother Xia." Su Ziun lowered his voice. "You said that Teacher Si wants to know Su Shen, Why is she so bad? Hey, there are so many people surnamed Su, I just think of Su Shen. Because Su Yang has a habit of traveling around for 8 months every year. Fans often encounter him singing in a remote and quiet bar. Xiaoyu raised his eyebrows and laughed softly, then look at her appearance. Su Ziun didn't know why. Xiaoyu said, it's like a salted fish that has lost the light of life. Su Ziun carefully glanced at Si Fucking, who was lying on the ground basking in the sun and covered his eyes with a book. Su Ziun. It can't be said that they are very similar, it can be said that they are exactly the same. At 10 o'clock, the youth program officially posted a new Weibo. At Youth V, the second performance is about to start, come and pick your favorite trainee, we'll see you at 7 o'clock in the evening. Fans are very excited. Second performance. The program is halfway through, and it feels like time flies by so fast. Come, shout to me, Xiaoyu, see debut, not only to debut, but also to make a faulty debut. Damn, when teacher Si can participate in a competition show, I will vote for her, the voting of the mentor group is really not challenging. Since Si Fucking sang the original version of the Ballad of Mountain Ghosts at the performance, her fans have grown more and more. Even though Lin Qingjian entered the entertainment industry a few years earlier, she still doesn't have as many die-hard fans as Si Fucking. After all, Si Fucking's good looks can make many people surrender. Lin Qingjian saw that the competition was hopeless, so she could only give up. She had indeed avoided Si Fucking for the past 2 days, and she didn't even dare to raise her head when she met him on the road. I hope this time the program team won't do anything else, we are not easy to bully. Smile. Looking forward to Xiaoyu's stage tonight, looking forward to Mr. Si. I hope teacher Si can also have a small performance today, just sing a sentence. The directors and planners were busy on the stage at night, with their feet on the ground. And such an urgent and important matter, the two did not know from the mouths of several trainees until noon, and they were in a hurry now. What now? The performance is about to start, and many fans have already started to wait in line. The planner slapped the table heavily. When will it target Xiaoyu's group again? Why don't we know? The director took a breath. I guess it was because we were afraid that we would know, and it was delayed until now. It is definitely too late to find a band at this time. What should I do? What do you mean by the above? The planner had a splitting headache. Can't they see how popular Xiaoyu and teacher Si are? Are they trying to ruin the show? Is there any way? The director was helpless. You also know that people invest in this show just to support their own people, and they have to support their own people. When you watched a movie last year, everyone knew that adding a certain actor would be scolded. To the extent that the body is completely broken, the capital is still imposed. Lu hates their house, we can afford it? He's an eldest young master. The planning is not angry, I think Xiaoyu's bearing is more like a big family than Lu Yan. The director choked, that said, but it's not just for watching. Xiaoyu's momentum is too strong, and they are sometimes a little afraid. I'll go and apologize to teacher Si first. The planner got up in a hurry, go and see if there is any temporary band. The director nodded hurriedly, his palms sweating. Today's performance must not be smashed. At this time, Linkhung police station. Zhou Qinjia was locked in the interrogation room for one night, during which there were many rounds of interrogation. Under the constant inspection, her nerves were on the verge of collapse. Let me out. Yes, how did I do it? But Si Fucking is fine. Zhou Qinjia was hysterical. I am Zhou's family, if you still want to hang out in Linkhung, you can't offend me like that. Outside the interrogation room, several police officers could see Zhou Qinjia's every move on the screen. One of the female police officers sneered, "You're young and have a very vicious heart." Xinting law firm comes forward, and the Zhou family can't keep any more money. The middle-aged male police officer next to him shook his head. Xiao Chen, go to Miss C's side later and tell her about the process. The female police officer nodded. Wait a minute, the middle-aged male police officer stopped her. What, when you go, ask for an autograph for me for my daughter. Then don't go today, there is a performance today, tomorrow. Go tomorrow. Hearing this sentence, other police officers also looked over, obviously eager to try. Female police officer. Are you all so idle in your work? There was a loud noise at the door. Madame Zoe was very anxious, let me in. But she was stubbornly stopped, and the female police officer's tone was polite and distant. Hello, you can't go in, she is a criminal suspect, and you are not qualified to visit at the moment. Even if Ms. Zoe took out Zoe's house, she still couldn't go in. She could only leave, return to the car, and let the driver go straight to the youth training base. Sci-fi just came out. She was wearing sunglasses, a mask, and a hat, and she was fully armed. Ms. Zoe recognized it at a glance. She hurriedly stepped forward and begged, Ching Ching, Ching Ching, can you spare Kinja, she is your sister. He knelt down again, Grandma, please, please, don't be so cold-blooded and ruthless. Kinja has lived with you for more than 10 years, so why do you have feelings for each other? Sci-fi didn't even look at it, Shanglu. Yes, Shanglu jumped out with Xiaobai in his arms. Old woman, get up. Madame Zoe was turned aside. She looked at Shanglu with some doubts, and had a bad premonition in her heart. Old woman, I warn you, don't come to Miss Si. Shanglu pointed at her nose and scolded, if Miss Si said she couldn't touch you at the moment, I would have settled the Zhou family for you. He was only abused by Feng San yesterday, and he didn't set off because of his anger. Madame Zhou knelt on the ground, and suddenly burst into tears. Ching Ching, this matter has nothing to do with Kinja. She was young at the time and didn't know anything, so she didn't want to rob you at all. Come at me if you want to, I know. I'm an insider, it's me, damn it, let me go to jail, I'm willing. There was too much movement, and someone around had started pointing. The staff at the base were a little at a loss. Mr. Si, look at this. Si finally glanced at Madame Zoe, and she smiled, I'm sorry, this is not what I left you with. Madame Zoe was stunned, unable to understand, but continued to plead, Ching Ching, Xianyu is also innocent, don't you implicate her, okay. She didn't know why the luck that was transferred away could go back. But if the luck on Zhou Xianyu's body is also taken back, the Zhou family is really over. When Madame Zhou thought of this possibility, her whole body trembled. The Zhou family's follow-up hopes are all pinned on Zhou Xianyu. I said, you old woman, you are really sick. Shanglu picked her up without a word. Miss Si still has something to do, don't bother. He was worried that he didn't have a chance to show it in front of Miss Si, so someone came to give him results. Si didn't look at Madame Zhou, who was crying to the death, and got into the car. At the same time, a message popped up on the phone. I'm here, where are you? Good morning. Every day to pour out the votes. Wow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 117. Si lowered his head and replied with one hand. 9, there's a little episode, and I'll be there soon. Well, Blue Mountain Cafe, black hat and mask, blue trench coat, gloves and scarf. Si raised his eyebrows. This wraps herself more tightly than she does. 9, I never asked you, do you have social phobia? You see, when we were singing in the bar, a little girl gave you flowers, and you didn't dare to speak. Yes, you are a social bully. You don't refuse flower givers, and you even hug other people's little girls. Can this be called social bullshit? She obviously didn't want to hurt every girl's heart. Madame Zhou was still crying behind. Si was relieved and rode away. City center. A very secluded cafe. Su Yang sat in the far corner. He stared at the time on the phone without blinking. The coffee milk cap in front of him melted, and he didn't move. A waiter stepped forward and said, "Sir, do you need to change a cup for you? Do you need any snacks?" Su Yang shook his head and politely refused, "Thank you, no need." The waiter could only step back, and some regrets failed to strike up a conversation. Su Yang kept looking at the time, making people anxious. After a while, footsteps stopped in front of him again. He looked up and saw a very young girl. Thinking that he was here to ask for contact information again, his voice became cold. "Sorry, I don't have time to make an appointment, I don't need anything." Cough cough, Si fucking took off his mask slightly, and the fox blinked. "Little brother Su, you're getting more and more skilled at rejecting this little girl, eldest brother is pleased." This familiar tone made Su Yang's pupils shrink suddenly. "You. It's eldest brother Si fucking was very sure, I haven't been dropped." "Absolutely not." Su Yang was silent. After a few seconds, Su Yang began to doubt life. After a few more seconds, Su Yang's three views collapsed successfully and entered a standby state. "Hi. Hi," Si fucking put on his mask again and waved his hand in front of him. "Are you powered off? You didn't have the symptom before." Su Yang was silent for a long time, his sharp eyes locked tightly, and finally asked, "Are you an old man? Or a mutant?" "I really want to stay young forever." Si fucking sat down, "But unfortunately, I'm not." "You didn't look like this before," Su Yang said coldly. "We haven't seen each other for 6 years, and we haven't been in touch for 3 years. You look younger than me." Si fucking opened his eyes and said, "Nonsense, I changed my face at the time. What you saw was a fake face. I am actually quite young." "Okay, you've changed your face, it's a fake face, your body is always yours, right?" Su Yang nodded and laughed angrily. "Let's do the math, 6 years ago, you were 12 years old, have you grown yet?" Si fucking. She didn't know for a while whether she was praising her for her good figure or scolding her. "Well, what, some things really can't be explained." Si fucking was silent. "Anyway, I haven't changed." "Okay, I believe you." Su Yang raised his eyes and said word by word, "I said, as long as it is you, I will believe it." He has been in poor health since he was a child and has been wandering abroad. He also followed a few wandering artists into the field of music, learned the drums, and learned the guitar and bass. When he and Si fucking met for the first time, he was only 16 years old. In order to survive, he had to work in various bars abroad and earn tuition for 2 people. When he was surrounded by several foreign gangsters, it was Si fucking who rescued him and helped him finish high school. Then the bar was bombed by drug dealers and he had to find a new job. Until 3 years ago, all news of Si fucking was completely cut off. He knew that she was from Daxia, so he came to Daxia to find her, but there was still no trace. How many life-threatening friendships can people have in such a short life? Si fucking was slightly startled. "Okay," she curled her lips and smiled, "then are you interested in helping a few dream-seeking teenagers to fulfill their dreams?" Su Yang nodded. "Youth." Si fucking raised his eyebrows. "You know." Su Yang pressed his temples, feeling a little irritable. "You think I really don't know you're a mentor when I don't surf the internet?" Si fucking blinked, innocently. "I'm watching your Super Talk fans say that you are young but live like an old man, you can't even use Weibo." Su Yang looked at her coldly. "Okay, you can use it." Si fucking looked behind him. "Where's your girlfriend? Didn't you come to the city with you?" Su Yang's hand stopped for a while, and the tone was very light, unable to hear any emotion. "It's been a long time." "That's it." Si fucking's expression was also stunned, and then his tone became light. "Don't be sad, your eldest brother knows a lot of girls, and eldest brother will introduce you." "No need." Su Yang was disgusted. I have social phobia. Si fucking. It was nothing like talking to her. Si fucking was a little sad. She suddenly changed from a big brother to a sister. Sometimes being young is not a good thing. I'm here to help you, I have nothing to do with you. Su Yang picked up his jacket. I have a small studio here, if you're afraid of being photographed, go to my studio. Si fucking nodded, I can't be photographed, let's go. It doesn't matter if she is photographed alone. She and Su Yang were photographed, and Weibo should explode. Today is the weekend, and the programmer will definitely want to kill her. After all, when T18's network was invaded by Zero, she was forced to be called by her second senior brother to work overtime, so she wanted to take Zero. As a worker, Si fucking can understand it very well. The two left the cafe. Although they are fully armed, their temperament cannot be concealed. There were frequent people looking back on the road. Su Yang called a car. 30 minutes later, the two arrived at a small villa. You're rich. Si fucking raised his head, it's great, you finally have a place to stay. It doesn't make any difference. Su Yang frowned, although I don't understand what happened to you, why did you come to participate in this kind of draft? At first, I was thinking about being a mess. Si fucking tilted his head, now I am thinking about helping them. You think, you are standing on the stage and are loved and admired by so many people, you can't live up to them, right? Of course she could just walk away. But she didn't want to see the teenagers break their wings, and she didn't want to make their fans sad. There are too many unfair things in this world, and people are struggling everywhere. Si fucking lowered his head. Her sister is gone, she always has to do the same thing as her sister, so that she can survive. Su Yang fell silent again. After a few seconds, he slowly exhaled, actually, I don't care whether you will compose music for me or not. I said no because I have anger in my heart. You suddenly cut off the news at that time, and I wondered if she would appear where I need to look up like her. Si fucking keenly sensed something was wrong. Who is your ex-girlfriend? Also from this circle. Su Yang said lightly, it's not important anymore. What do you look up to? Si fucking's eyes were cold, did I let anyone look up at me? Oh, of course, some people still have to look up at me, and today someone knelt down for me, and I didn't care. Reason? You have to believe in yourself, those who bully you will not be able to hold you high. Su Yang finally smiled, let's go, give me the song, let's rehearse. Si fucking picked up a bass, you really have all the equipment. Su Yang called her. Si fucking turned his head, what? Su Yang whispered, sister, I didn't say anything, thank you very much. This time, it was Si fucking's turn to dislike it, it's called eldest brother. Su Yang. He really didn't have to doubt it. It is up to Si fucking to destroy the atmosphere. 6 p.m. City Hall. Originally, the performance was supposed to be held in the stadium, but because the state games was about to start, all major stadiums were requisitioned, and the program team could only retreat. The fans outside have gathered. Both Paymenzi and MRSP came. In the past, MRSP would definitely not come, and she would not care about the entertainment industry. But now all the hopes of the Pay family are pinned on Si fucking. MRSP knew that regret was useless, so she could only try her best to do things the best. Mom, I've said it all, you have nothing to hire someone to support. Paymenzi was speechless. Miss C's popularity is very high, and her fans are too crowded. Looking at MRSP, who was holding a cheer card. By the way, Mom, I've locked on a few suspicious targets. Paymenzi whispered, the third uncle's family, and the sixth aunt's family, they come to our house most often. I think so too. MRSP was calm, especially at your Lu aunt's house, just your cousin, who always wanted to go around your house, talk about playing games, and asked you to communicate more. Speaking of this, she suddenly became angry. Why do you buy so many game discs when you say you have nothing to do? Paymenzi, Mom, you are my mother. The two followed the crowd. Hello, Mr. Pei. The reporter quickly stepped forward to block Paymenzi with sharp eyes. Do you have anything to say about the scandal you had with Miss Si fucking 2 days ago? Don't talk nonsense. Paymenzi instantly became nervous. How could I chase Miss Si? I want to call her dad, you understand? Don't destroy our father-son relationship. Go ahead. Reporter. Paymenzi hurriedly accelerated his pace. In the synagogue. Fans are coming in. The live broadcast room was also open. Although the screen was still black, the barrage floated wildly. The sisters in the trouble take a pat on SIC's face. If she doesn't post a selfie with Jagaga, we can get together. Can you see teacher SI perform today? Then I'm looking forward to another student who doesn't have long eyes to make trouble, and then maybe teacher SI will pop out. Fans are looking forward to it. In the back, the trainee preparation area. When he saw Xiaoyu and Su Ziun, a smile appeared on Lu Yan's face. He stepped forward and pretended to be very concerned. Xiaoyu, I heard that your accompaniment group is gone? Do you want me to find one for you? However, there must be no perfection that has been practiced many times in a temporary appearance. What can I do? Lu Yan Xiaoyu said calmly, I heard that your family is very strong in Dongzhou. It's good that you know. Lu Yan's eyes were threatening. Be wise, you should withdraw from the draft yourself. Xiaoyu is a personal trainee, he doesn't even have a company, why should he compete with him? Well, I remember. Xiaoyu laughed softly, with a sloppy expression, I will try it when the time comes. How strong your family is, you prepare. Lu Yan frowned. He didn't understand what Xiaoyu's words meant. What do you mean by getting him ready? But it doesn't matter, as long as Xiaoyu's group can't perform normally today, he has already won. On the other side, backstage, the assistant director hurried over. He wiped his sweat and looked bitter. Director, I can't help it. I've been looking for a day, and we haven't found a suitable band, and the bands from other groups have not been exposed to their song, so there's no way to accompany it. This is really bad. The director's hands trembled. Although teacher SI doesn't care, what about today's performance? The plan smoked a cigarette and said nothing. After a while of silence, he asked, where is teacher SI? The assistant director hurriedly said, Mr. SI went out at noon and just came back. I'll go look for her. Planning got up, quickly found SI fucking, and said the matter again. Huh? It's okay. SI fucking squinted, it has nothing to do with you, I can see clearly. The planner apologized repeatedly, Teacher Kessie, this performance. The performance is going on normally. SI fucking lazily said, but I have a request. I want to change the order of appearances. My student group must appear before the Liuyan group. The planner agreed, no problem. He turned his head, and then noticed that there was another person next to him, stunned, Mr. SI, who is this? My best friend sent me a product link at noon and asked me to persuade her to dismiss her, but she planted grass for me and I in turn persuaded her to buy it. My best friend? Me, smiley face, I don't want to either. We'll start to slaughter powder again. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 118. Ah, my brother Si fucking turned to block, he doesn't like talking to strangers. Su Yang was still wrapped tightly, only revealing a pair of beautiful eyes. He looked at the plan indifferently, without even a perfunctory smile. The planner nodded and didn't ask, since teacher Si is ready, then we can rest assured here. Please also rest assured, teacher Si, this kind of thing will never happen again in future performances. Don't be so full of words. Si fucking glanced at him, you are also a worker, not a talkative boss. Plan. That's right. Mr. SI has found a suitable band, the planner was very attentive, the instruments are all ready. No need, Su Yang finally spoke, his voice breaking like cold jade, bring your own. The planner could not help but notice him again. But Su Yang looked at him coldly with a pair of eyes. Planning shuddered, okay. Sorry, goodbye. SI fucking took Su Yang away. She didn't go to the passage where the instructor was seated, but came to the instrument preparation place. Is the agency suppressing you? Su Yang frowned, I'll help you speak up. It never occurred to him that something like this would happen to him. Even if people in the circle mentioned that Yan Si fucking, the new god of Daxia, he just listened and didn't care. Until today, Si fucking found him. On the way, Su Yang began to collect all kinds of information about Si fucking. Black entries are densely packed. What Si fucking gold master, Si fucking plastic surgery, Si fucking hidden rule students, it's unsightly. No need, I can handle it. Si fucking adjusted the strings, don't come out for me, I just want to lie down quietly. Also, Su Yang asked, who else? Si fucking. It's really been a few years since I haven't seen it, and this acuity is not generally strong. No one. Si fucking shoved the piano bag into his hand, a king of involution. Su Yang didn't ask any more questions, he turned the drumstick in his hand, lowered his head thoughtfully, and tapped a few times on the phone. A few seconds later, screams from the audience rose one after another. Ah! What are you doing over there? The planner was stunned, Mr. Si and Sia, you haven't appeared yet. In his impression, only Si fucking and Sia had such influence. Planning, it's Sushen, a staff member was so excited that he twisted into a maggot. Sushen just posted a Weibo location, showing that it was Link Hung. God Su, the planner was surprised, bring it to me to see. Indeed, as long as you are in the entertainment industry, there is no one who has not heard of Su Yang's name. Although Su Yang has only debuted for 3 years, he has already released no less than 20 highly popular songs. Such a musical genius with spiritual energy has not appeared in the Daxia Empire for a long time. However, Su Yang refused all the awards, let alone go to Glen, which is known as the Holy Land of Art. He has been staying in the Daxia Empire, and he doesn't know what he is waiting for. The staff handed over the phone. At Su Yang, lucky to meet again picture. The accompanying picture is a corner of the music studio. The sun came in quietly from the window and fell on a dark brown base, like molten gold flowing slowly, everything was precise and beautiful. Su Yang rarely posts personal Weibo. Every time he goes to a place, he will send a coordinate. Wait, I'm going out to meet you, why did you suddenly run to Link Hung? Who did Sushen meet? Look at the expression, is an old man. Sudden vigilance. It's not your first love, is it? No. Su Yang was asked about his relationship in an interview, and he said a few words with no expression on his face. Fans could vaguely understand that the two were childhood sweethearts, they were together when they were students, and then they separated, and Su Yang also came to Daxia. Su Yang never responded to this matter from beginning to end. Top musicians are not the same as actors. The former may not be as well paid as actors, but their status is more permanent. Rather than saying that Su Yang is in the entertainment industry, it is better to say that he is a treasured genius in the music hall. Fans in the hall and squatting in the live broadcast room were also excited. God Su has come to the city, so tangled, one side is my wife, the other is my husband, should I look at my wife or my husband? The performance ends at 11 o'clock, so I can catch up. If Sushen usually hangs in the bar, it is in the middle of the night, just after watching his wife and then seeing his husband. Today, the bars in Link Hung are about to be full. Sisters, draw your knives and see in which bar we can meet Sushen. Yes, yes, look at the wife first, go meet my husband again, a perfect life, I have pinched it. At the entrance, the assistant director walked slowly with his hands behind his back. He also felt that he had a perfect life. Because he reported to Daxiatai in advance that he would sign a contract with Sci-fi, he successfully applied for more than 1 week of vacation. Now he has got the special ticket that Sci-fi gave him, but few people have this kind of treatment. Shanglu walked ahead, and when he came to the private box on the second floor, he bumped into Feng San, who was pushing a wheelchair. Shanglu looked very bad. Why is it you again? Why can't it be me? Feng San snorted coldly, the defeated general. Wait, Shanglu was so angry that his face turned red again. It's not too late for a gentleman to take revenge for 10 years. Anyway, Miss Si didn't drive me away, so be jealous. Feng San didn't expect Shanglu to be so shameless and shameless. You. For the first time, he turned his head and complained to Yu Zion, ninth brother, look at him, he is obviously not as good as me, and he said to protect Miss Si, we should transfer people. Shanglu looked down. Yu Zion raised his head slightly. An extremely young and handsome face came into view, and the lights in the synagogue washed away the awe-inspiring murderous look in his eyes, adding a bit of dignity. Shanglu froze in place. It's all good. Yu Zion was restrained, tapping the handle of a folding fan on the palm of his hand, smiling, very good. Feng San snorted again, I'll let you go this time. Shanglu was a little confused, and stared blankly at Yu Zion entering the room. The assistant director was nervous. Who was that gentleman just now? Do you know Xiao Shang? I don't know. Shanglu hesitated for a while, but he has a close relationship with Miss Si. Oh, the assistant director let out a long sigh. It scared me to death. The momentum was so strong, I almost fell to my knees. He directly put out his heart to ask, would you like to join the entertainment circle? Shanglu hesitated, his tone just now seemed a little strange. I think about it. The assistant director recalled for a moment, and suddenly slapped his thigh. Is it the kind of complicated emotion that ancient emperors were very happy and emotional when they saw the descendants of ministers with merit? When he was done, he was triumphant. After all, he is also from a professional class, and he still understands the eye scene very well. Shanglu murmured, yes, but it's the first time I've seen him, so strange. He inevitably thought of the temple dedicated to Emperor Yin in Qinjunmen. The Qinjun League was broken up before Emperor Yin went, and then reorganized. If the Emperor Yin is still here. Shanglu tapped his head. He was thinking about something unscientific. The two groups of people took their seats in the two adjacent boxes next door. At 7 o'clock, the second performance officially began. It's really been a long time. Lu Ningsheng took to the stage. I want to say sorry to everyone. I missed the show twice due to personal reasons. Well, without further ado, now our performance is officially started. Today's like king, and which one will be the first in the group? Let's wait and see. The field began to cheer. Thank you. Thank you. Teacher Si. Teacher Si. Our first group is Yekinja's group sent by Teacher Mo. Lu Ningsheng said with a smile. Let's see what kind of wonderful performance they can bring us today, please. Fans cheered. Yekinja performed well and successfully got him a good score of 578 votes. The position of the king of thumbs up is also temporarily taken by him. Mr. Mo teaches well, our classmate Ye has made great progress. Lu Ningsheng nodded. The second group to appear should be one of our most popular students, the single C position. He is. Mr. Lu, the order of the groups has changed. The director's voice came from the headset. Xiaoyu's group comes first. Lu Ningsheng's reaction speed was extremely fast. Xiaoyu. Xiaoyu team, please. The screams under the stage suddenly intensified. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Lu Yan was ready, and was suddenly stopped by the staff. He was a little unhappy. What do you mean? The director has changed the order of appearances, the staff member said. you are the next group to appear. As soon as these words came out, some trainees in the group were immediately unhappy. What do you mean? Why should they come first? Go first, Lu Yan smiled and sneered, early death and early birth. Without an accompaniment group, he wanted to see how Xiaoyu's group performed. In the live broadcast room, the barrage was also active a lot until such a barrage appeared. Gossip, Xiaoyu and his group's accompaniment group has left. As for why they left, their group must have offended others today. They don't even think about performing. What's the situation? Hey, what about Teacher Si? Why is Teacher Si not in the tutor seat? There may be something to leave in the middle of the way. The other three instructors are all sitting in the seats. She is really disrespectful. Every time I watch the tidbits, I see her resting in the dance studio. What the hell did she teach? Planning, are you still playing music? The staff shouted, it's about time. Let's go, the planner stared at him, Mr. Shinji. But how exactly? The staff responded, connected the track, and played the music. The brisk music played in the hall, and fans held their breaths. Planning is also very stressful. Boom. Until the ethereal drum beat fell. Dong dong. As the drums gradually became denser, the stage curtain was opened, the lifting platform appeared, and the group appeared. Because the first performance was in the dark rock style, this time Si fucking tuned Xiaoyu's group with fast-paced music, but the style was completely opposite. The 6 people wore white suits with golden patterns on the suits, and their hair was dyed pale gold. This shape is too good looking, blonde Xiaoyu, absolutely, how can he be so handsome? Su Ziun is like an angel who fell into the world and lost his memory. I knew that the Xiaoyu group would never disappoint. I'm already looking forward to the look of the next performance. Who is the stylist? Please give me a dozen of such stylists. Stage styling is also very important. After all, vision is the first impression. It's not that the capital side of the program group did not suppress Xiaoyu's group from the aspect of makeup design, but even if it was the most ordinary dressing room, Xiaoyu's group's 2 stage styles were more amazing each time. It has always been a mystery who designed them. The prelude is a dance, and the sound of drums and guitar and bass is accompanied by background music, and it gradually ignites. The audience also finally discovered that the accompaniment was different from usual. Listen, today's accompaniment seems to be different from before. There is something. It sounds like there is no keyboard player, just guitar, bass and drums, but absolutely, how can it be so good? 1 minute, I want all the information on the bass player and drummer. The trainee preparations can't see the front screen, but the sound can come in. When he heard the drums, Lu Yan stood up instantly, extremely incredible. His face was distorted. Who is accompaniment for them? The accompaniment group only withdrew this morning. Why is there still someone to accompany them? In fact, after the repertoire of the second performance was set, preparations for this matter had already begun. The reason why it was delayed until the last day was so that Xiaoyu's team didn't even have time to make amends. But now, why are there still musical instruments? How could someone cooperate so well in such a short period of time? Lu Yan was restless and wanted to rush out immediately, but he could only grit his teeth and froze in place, his face flushed. As soon as the prelude was over, Xiaoyu's voice inserted strongly. Boom. The drums and his voice blended together, reaching a breaking point in an instant. It sounds good, it sounds good. Who said the accompaniment group is gone? Missing ears? It's going to be a lie. The photography team did give you a shot, can you let people take a look? The lights finally flickered, moving from the center of the stage to the stack of instruments in the rear right. It flashed back after a few seconds. But it was these few seconds that clearly illuminated the bassist's face. Si fucking still only painted eyeshadow. The light fell on her pale face. She hooked the strings of the bass with one hand, fox eyes swiping. When he raised his eyes and closed his eyes, the stream of light was glistening, like a fox that seduces the soul. As if she had a premonition that a camera was aimed at her, she raised her head, smiled lazily, raised her eyes and waved her free hand. Boom! The audience only felt that their hearts were choked, and they tightened suddenly. The place was dead silent. After more than 10 seconds, someone finally reacted and went crazy. Wife? Sci-fucking is not at the tutor's seat, did he personally go up to accompany him? Immortal mentor. Teacher SI can handle it, and she really does it herself when something happens. Come here, the person who said Mr. SI was irresponsible came out for a walk. Is your face still there? If it's still there, I'll knock it out for you. Smile. The lights are also concentrated in the center of the stage. The accompaniment and music are perfectly matched together, plus Xiaoyu's dance and Shiyu's singing. The stage effect can be said to be bursting. The fans at the scene were all crazy. Wife, look at me. Hurry up and light up my wife. Although the fans shouted like this, they all understood that Sci-fucking was chosen in the darkest corner, which just added popularity to the group performance without stealing the limelight. In the instructor's seat, Lin Qingjian almost couldn't help standing up. She stared straight ahead, her fingernails digging into her palms. Sci-fucking can sing. After all, singing can be achieved in a short time, but bass. This level of proficiency cannot be learned in a few days. Naturally, Lin Qingjian also heard about the transfer of Xiaoyu's accompaniment troupe. She was completely watching the show. However, the truth was slapped on her face like a slap. Xiaoyu's group not only did not make a fool of himself, but instead made Sci-fucking soaring in popularity. How could this be? The bass player is Teacher SI, and who is the drummer? This drum beating gesture is so handsome just by looking at the shadow. The sense of substitution is very strong. I have made up for a handsome guy. Maybe an amateur? Brothers and sisters, I have a bold guess. You see, the front foot Sushen posted a positioning Weibo, and there is a fairy drummer here on the back foot, so, shouldn't it be Sushen? What? Your guess is really a bit bold. When the climax came, the music suddenly plucked up, and the drums became denser. The lights flickered. All eyes were once again focused on the right rear of the stage. Give today's goddess a monthly pass. Who would have thought that I had never watched variety shows? Who wrote about variety shows in the entertainment industry, the vicissitudes of life? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qingqian. Chapter 119. As if knowing that everyone was looking for a place, the camera crew also turned the camera and moved the main screen to the instrument on the rear right again. The first thing to zoom in is Sci-fucking's face. This woman is really too beautiful. Nuwa is crazy to show off her skills on her. Screenshots and screenshots. Don't be stunned, the Lord does not produce food, let us come by ourselves. The camera continued to move, and it was about to find the position of the drum set. And as if he knew exactly where the camera was, Sci-fucking also moved. Her slender fingers were still plucking the strings of the bass, but the steps under her feet did not stop. In neutral, she raised her other hand, covered the camera vainly, and smiled. Don't look at me, look at them, thank you. Teacher SI is insidious, she blocked it? There is something tricky. I feel that my guess is not so bold, otherwise why do I block it? Don't say it, in case it is really Sushen, this episode can be directly conferred a god. The front, let's go. What level of existence is Su Yang? Apart from Chu Lingyun, he was the only one who had been invited by Glenn. If it weren't for the unwillingness of others, they would be standing on the international stage. Would they come to such a small draft? What a joke. Take Su Yang away, We don't make an appointment. I'm really dying of laughter, when Su Yangxian was bored and suddenly came to Linkhung just to accompany the trainees. Let me be blunt, with his status, Lu Tianho is not qualified for him to accompany him. The public knows that Su Yang used to be a street performer and a resident singing in a bar. And because he is young, the seniors in the circle also take good care of him. Su Yang is a model of a top counterattack, with many fans and die-hard fans. Although he has a good skin, but what really convinces is his talent. A proper king of the entertainment industry. The audience's attention was quickly diverted, and the stage of Xiaoyu's 6 people once again attracted everyone's attention. The cheers from the audience increased. Backstage. Planning clutching his heart, in a state of dying, my God. The stage this time is really blowing up. Who is that drummer? The director couldn't help but ask, why don't you play the light over there? It's Teacher C's brother, right? The planner was uncertain. I met Teacher Si with her brother just now. I didn't expect Teacher C's younger brother to be so talented in music. It is estimated that this is because I am an amateur and I am afraid of life. Not everyone wants to be in the entertainment industry. This drum is really good, the director nodded. If you want to enter the entertainment industry, you will be a great god in the future. Si fucking went directly to the stage to accompany him, and even the director himself was frightened, but he was barely able to accept it. After all, he thought that when Si fucking was teaching trainees, he was familiar with the song. But this drummer is different. How could they cooperate so well in such a short period of time? After planning to light a cigarette, I was finally able to breathe a sigh of relief. He can already imagine how the hot search will explode in a while. The atmosphere on the stage became more and more flammable, but Lu Yan in the preparations became more restless, and his facial features became hideous. In a while, he must see who dares to accompany Xiaoyu. And even if there is no light in the rear right, only the light that comes with the instrument. But it couldn't hide Yu Xian's sight in the slightest. He propped his head up and stared at the stage. The eyes are focused on one place from beginning to end. The girl's waist is slender and incredibly soft. He saw her fluttering her hair and singing, her eyes shining like stars. It was really hard for anyone to take their eyes off her. Feng San was too curious. Ninth brother, do you see anything? Who is the drummer next to Miss Si? Well, Yu Xian looked tired, male, 1.82 meters, wearing a mask. His facial features are not clear for now, but judging from the degree of bending of his legs, his right calf and knee have been injured before. Feng San. No, he shouldn't ask brother Ju. The focus of his ninth brother is completely different from theirs. She was so excited that she burst into tears. You can see that Ching Ching is really good, she can play the instrument so well, what else is there that she can't do? Yu Xian's tone was light, and she couldn't hear any joy or anger. Cooking. I don't believe it, Yu Tang Chao said loudly. Ninth uncle, you must be slandering you. Cough cough. Feng San coughed twice. Miss Yotang, this is true. Miss Si said on a whim last time that she wanted to cook for brother 9, and then she blew up the kitchen. On the last day, they ate takeaway. Feng San has lingering fears. Luckily it's the kitchen. If the rice is really cooked, it is estimated that it is someone else who fried it. Then ninth uncle, you have to learn to cook. Yu Tang was worried now. It's a good saying, if you want to capture a girl's heart, you must first grab her stomach. She doesn't know how to cook either, so she is inspired to find a boyfriend who is good at cooking. She's different. Yu Xian raised her eyebrows slightly and said slowly, stomach is useless, use gold bricks. Yu Tang. There was never a moment when she felt that her ninth uncle knew Ching Ching so well. Boom. The last drum beat fell and the music stopped. The audience was still immersed in this perfect stage and did not return to their senses. "It's so beautiful, it's really beautiful." Lu Ningsheng spoke first, and she applauded vigorously. "From my personal experience, at least I haven't seen such a good multi-person stage performance. You guys are really great. I can finally see the hope of internal entertainment now. You are the future." Xiaoyu, none of these 6 people are over 20 years old, so they are young and flourishing. Of course. In addition to our excellent trainees, there is another person who surprised us all. Lu Ningsheng blinked. "Let's invite teacher Si to the stage." Si fucking came up. She was wearing hot pants and short sleeves today, revealing a thin waist that was dazzlingly white. "Mr. Si, it's amazing, I didn't expect you to play bass." Lu Ningsheng applauded again, "but everyone is very curious about the other person. Who is that drummer?" "My brother, he is afraid of life, so don't worry about it." Si fucking hugged his arms, his fox eyes were presumptuous and captivating. "Isn't it enough to see me?" "Enough is enough." The wife smiled. "Who else in the entertainment industry can compare? I officially announce that I will dissolve my harem, and I will only spoil my wife alone from now on. I said earlier that it wasn't Su Yang, you still don't believe it. Slap you in the face?" "Mr. Si has performed on stage, so I definitely can't comment." Lu Ningsheng raised his eyebrows. "Come on, give the microphone to our other 3 instructors and let them evaluate it." I listened carefully to Teacher C's performance. Teacher Si should not be a beginner anymore. "It's really amazing." The vocal instructor laughed. "I wonder when I can see Teacher Si dancing." Si fucking was very calm. "Then I still need someone to give me this opportunity." The microphone reached Li Jingchen. His expression was a little complicated, and he paused for a few moments before speaking. "As a singing and composition instructor, I will talk about it from an innovative perspective. This piece is a new composition, but it is much more difficult than the original. It is very successful. I am very admire." Lu Ningsheng said. "Where's Teacher Lin?" Lin Qingjian could hardly maintain her smile. She used the strongest restraint in her life to restrain her complex emotions such as jealousy, resentment, and unwillingness. "Mr. Si is really surprising today." Lin Qingjian's smile was dripping with water. "As a dance instructor, I am really ashamed of myself compared to Teacher Si. I can't sing, and I don't know any musical instruments." "Dance? What does Lin Qingjian mean? Can you mock Mr. Si as a dance instructor for not being able to dance? It's really a yin and yang monster. What if you can't dance? Teacher Si has already learned a lot. If you can dance again, will you still be human?" "Okay, let's watch the big screen." Lu Ningsheng turned his head. Xiaoyu's final number of likes. The screen scrolled. 923 votes. Congratulations. With only 1,000 public judges, Xiaoyu can get such a high number of votes, which shows his strength. The screen displays the votes of other people in turn. "Wow, thank you, brother. I actually have 560 votes. Su Ziun resisted the thought of jumping up and was very happy. "I passed Teacher C's assessment again." Xiaoyu was really convinced this time. "Why is there a lucky fool like you in this world? Can step on the line back and forth." Naiubi. Xiaoyu has won the Praise King again, with 923 votes. It is estimated that no one can surpass it tonight. Lu Ningsheng continued. "Let's welcome the next group, Lu Yan group, please come on stage." When Lu Yan took the stage, his hands and feet were shaking. But his on-the-spot reaction was quite strong, and he completed the performance smoothly. But the audience didn't buy it at all. Why is Lu Yan getting worse and worse? What is he dancing and singing? No, go down. One thing to say, Lu Yan is still a professional, so, he was unfortunately ranked behind Xiaoyu to play, and he was attacked by dimensionality reduction. Lu Yan is really not good compared with Xiaoyu. I even voted for him before, and I fanned myself. Really disappointed, Fans turned around. I just can't believe that Lu Yan's votes were even more than Xiaoyu's a few times. Without any surprises, Lu Yan's second performance was even worse than the first. He only got 300 likes. And the worst trainee in Xiaoyu's group got 450 likes. Lu Yan, as the C position, has such a low number of likes, it can be said to be a waste. Lu Yan finally understood why he was ranked behind Xiaoyu. It's just for comparison, to suppress him. Is the show group crazy? There are two investors standing behind him. Lu Yan clenched his fists and raised his head. Xiaoyu sat on the throne of the praise king without looking at anyone. Not arrogant, but arrogant in the bones. Lu Yan's face flushed, and he stepped off the stage in a sullen manner and returned to the seat of an ordinary trainee. After that, the performances were very dull, and there was no further upsurge. Kinju, it's okay, a male student patted his chest with lingering fears. If we are also ranked behind Xiaoyu, we will finish the game. Saying that, he looked at Su Ziun with some envy. What kind of luck does it take to have such an immortal mentor as Sci-fi? The performance ended successfully, which was much better than the first phase. The whole show group was happy. Ching ching, let's eat. Yu Tang slipped to the backstage to pick up Sci-fi. Ninth uncle has reserved a box in Linjiang Pavilion and will hold a celebration banquet for you. The boss has a heart. Sci-fi nodded. It just so happens that they are all busy with other things right now. Let's slip first, and don't be blocked by then. Yu Tang glanced around. Ching ching, where's your brother? Don't you ask him to come over? Because he was afraid of being blocked, he just left. Sci-fi thought for a while. He doesn't have the habit of eating supper either, but I'll tell him. Okay, let's go. Yu Tang took her arm. I also invited your guard and the director of Daxiatai. I think that director is pretty good. Sci-fi has no objection to this. The assistant director is pretty good except for being bald. 9. I'm going to dinner. How many days are you going to stay in Linkhung? Eve. I also need to go. 9. Aren't you going to go shopping at the bar? I see your fans have already met you. After turning around twice, I'm tired. Don't go, give me an address, I'll go grab a meal. 9. Okay. Sci-fi sent the address of Linjiang Pavilion and gave another box number. Several people arrived at Linjiang Pavilion. The waiter led them into an elegant box. The assistant director rubbed his hands together. It's really a blessing for Miss Tosi. I can come here to eat. He decided that if there were any good resources in the future, he would definitely give Sci-fi a share. Shanglu and Feng San both had stinky faces. Wait, Sci-fi raised his hand and motioned for the waiter to add a seat next to her. There is another person, my brother, he will come right away. I told my best friend that I didn't understand why my waist was thin when I practiced legs, and she immediately decided to get up and practice legs with me. Thank you all for your monthly passes. See you tomorrow. After having everything taken away, she returns as a god. Author, Qing Qian. Chapter 120. Hey, Qing Qing, did your brother agree to come? Yu Tang was very happy. That's right, let me introduce you to everyone, and let's get to know each other. On the way here, Sci-fi glanced at his watch. There are still 10 minutes left. Then add a few more dishes. Uncle Ninth Yu Tang was excited. Let's have one more person to eat. Yu Zian nodded slightly, but had no objection. Feng San was half curious and half puzzled. When did Miss Si have a younger brother? Oh, it's not a kiss. Sci-fi stroked his chin. I saved him from an injustice before, but he lost to me in the game, so he became a younger brother. Shang Lu's eyes glowed. He also lost to Miss Si. Rounding up, is he also a younger brother? I don't know what Miss C's brother looks like. The waiter served some apéritifs. Several people waited while drinking. 10 minutes later, the box door was opened. The waiter ushered the visitor in. Yu Tang immediately looked up. The young man was tall and straight, as slender as a jade tree. "Fengson, you look at this figure, I know he's a handsome guy." Yu Tang peeled off a few peanuts. "Also, King King's younger brother, can his appearance be bad?" Before Feng San could speak, Shang Lu immediately retorted, "His muscles are not as developed as mine." "Feng San. Good boy, learn fast." "You know shit," Yu Tang snorted coldly, "we girls like this kind of clothes that look thin and fleshy. It's not good that the muscles are too developed." Shang Lu stammered, "Yes, yes." After the waiter withdrew, Su Yang took off his hat and mask. He bowed slightly. "Everyone has been waiting for a long time, it is really disturbing so late." All the sounds stopped abruptly at this moment, the breathing stopped, and there was a dead silence in the box. Except for Yu Zion, who was still floating tea, everyone else stared blankly at Su Yang, who took off his mask, and they were all dumbfounded. With a click, the chopsticks in Yu Tang's hand fell to the ground. Her mouth was wide open, as if she could not speak. The assistant director was so shocked that he lost his voice, and his head buzzed a few times, signaling a strike. Who can tell him why the top ceiling of the Daxia Entertainment Circle appears here? Feng San and Shang Lu were barely able to get better, but it was inevitable that they would lose their temper. After all, when Xia Yu's group debuted, some netizens boldly guessed whether the drummer was Su Shen. They also had the idea of understanding Sci-fucking, so they searched and got an understanding of Su Yang's situation. They were all too familiar with this face. The real top men in the entertainment industry, others are going to stand aside. But now, he has become Miss C's younger brother. Is this world mystical? Shen Su, the assistant director, finally reacted. He jumped up instantly and stammered, "Is it God Su? Or fake? How could he see Su Yang here? He must be blind." "It's me," Su Yang politely said. "Hello. I'm fine, I'm fine." The assistant director was very excited. "Su Shen, I'm your fan, can you sign my name for me?" Yu Tang was extremely excited. Seeing Xinjian said, "Husband, I want to sign everything, don't mind Sci-fucking," greeted Su Yang to sit down. "Tang Tang, she calls me her husband when she sees me." Su Yang. He didn't seem to be comforted at all, instead he was in a worse mood. He fell silent, and began to think about whether Sci-fucking would be able to steal the male artist's job after a while. That is to say, the drummer who played with Miss Si today is Mr. Su. The assistant director's voice was trembling. My God. Invisibly, he was fortunate enough to listen to Su Yang's performance. Su Yang has only held one concert, and the concert venues are all over dozens of cities in the 5 states of Daxia. Even so, it's still hard to get a vote. It's really priceless and can't be grabbed with money. But he came to the city on a business trip and ate at the same table with Su Yang. The assistant director was so excited that he just wanted to get up and dance. The director must be jealous of him. He signed Sci-fucking as expected. Who would have thought that Sci-fucking would invite Su Yang directly? "Glenn, please don't move." "Who is Miss Si?" The assistant director looked at Sci-fucking cautiously, and his heart became more and more itchy. Now if someone told him that that day, Sci-fucking invited Yun Lan out of the mountain again, he would absolutely believe it. "It's ugly." Su Yang was still polite. "I haven't played the drums for a long time." "What are you doing?" Sci-fucking held his chin. "Why don't you just have a meal? As for all the fuss." Deputy Director. "Listen, is this human? This is Su Yang." Yu Zion finally spoke up. "Order." Su Yang glanced at him and frowned. It's dinner time." Yu Tang divided 3 menus and went down. "You're welcome, family, what do you want to eat?" "Family." The assistant director looked at Sci-fucking and at Yu Zion, who was calm and quiet from beginning to end. After a few seconds, he suddenly realized. No wonder. It turns out that Miss Si got married at an early age. In this way, it is understandable that Sushen's eyes are not good. If he has an older sister or younger sister who gets married, he will definitely gnash his teeth at the man. The assistant director is wandering around the world, and has already started to make up the script in his mind. Linjiang Pavilion is extremely private, and there is no need to worry about the information being leaked. The waiters filed in and brought in their plates. Although it's really not good to talk about work at the dinner table, Sushen, I'm so excited that I still want to ask you. The assistant director rubbed his hands. To be a flying guest. When they invited people, they didn't take Su Yang into consideration at all. One is that Su Yang's status is too high, a ceiling-level figure in the entertainment industry. Second, Su Yang has never appeared in any variety show, and interviews can be rejected as much as possible. But who knew the twists and turns? He had a conversation with Su Yang. Su Yang raised his head. Is my sister there? The assistant director nodded. Yes, yes, Miss Si is a resident guest. Su Yang hummed, yes. That's great. And Miss Si is really nice. The assistant director burst into tears. I heard that the show is for charity, and Miss Si doesn't even want the salary. Yu Zian turned her head. Charity. Well, Si fucking brows lazily. I only need to earn enough money to support myself. No matter how much I have, it's useless, and it's just a few episodes of the show, so I'll be hot with such a high salary. For her, although money is omnipotent, it is not as good as herself. She has to seize more time to regain her strength. Moreover, it is not her who really costs money, but Si fucking had an indifferent face. Xiaobai knew that he was wrong, and he carefully stretched out his little fluffy paws and tugged at her sleeve. Si fucking slapped it on the head. Very ruthless. Don't touch dad's clothes. Xiaobai began to roll. Woohoo. It is hungry, it wants to eat gold. Yu Zian sat next to Si fucking. He raised his hand and put it on Xiaobai's head, but it didn't fall. Xiaobai was a little confused. Don't you want to play the dog? Until it raised its small head and saw a piece of gold of excellent quality in the man's palm. The gold detection radar belonging to Pixia quickly started. Pure gold. There are no impurities. Xiaobai's eyes lit up. It first glanced at its master vigilantly, and then quickly ate the gold. Belch. Full. Pixia's life is very satisfying. Xiaobai became active and wanted to rub Yu Zian's pants. But it didn't hit. The man smiled lightly and said slowly, okay, listen to her carefully. Xiaobai, who didn't expect it at all. How does it feel that the days to come are not very good? Just when Si fucking and Su Yang, who are hot spots, were having dinner, today's performance had already been trending on Weibo. Hashtag Si fucking, base hashtag. Hashtag Si fucking, God teacher hashtag. Hashtag Si fucking this person can handle it, she will come in person if something happens hashtag. Hashtag Xiaoyu, blonde hashtag. Hashtag mystery drummer hashtag. Help, what is going on with this woman? How can anything? The eye wind is so murderous. She glanced at me, and I felt that she was going to kill the quartet and crush everyone. I just ask, who else is there? Are there any immortal mentors like Si fucking, fans of a certain green tea? You have no face to fish in troubled waters, right? I'm still curious about what that drummer looks like. Did any sisters take pictures? Alas, no, not only did I not take pictures, I didn't meet Sushen in the bar for 2 hours, and I was so sad that I drew circles. As expected by the director and planner, the 6th episode has only been launched for less than 4 hours, and the number of broadcasts has increased exponentially. The director was very pleased, opened an extra bottle of red wine, and prepared to go home tonight without getting drunk. The planner also drank a drink and sighed, Mr. Si is really a treasure. Before the show started, I thought that it was Lu Tianho and Lin Qingjian to increase the popularity of the show. Who knew that when SI fucking came out, he would instantly kill everyone. Fortunately, we woke up quickly. The director agreed, you can count on Teacher SI for the next 4 episodes. The planner took it seriously, and suddenly asked, have we responded to the invitation letter sent to Glenn? It shows that I signed for it a week ago, but there was no response on the side. The assistant shook his head, I don't think there will be any more. There are too many people to invite. How could Glenn be interested in our talent show? Not necessarily, the planner muttered, I have a hunch that Teacher SI is the breakthrough, maybe. Of course he understands the truth of counter-attacking people and attracting fans. But the problem is that this so-called counter-attack was not set up by the show team at all, it was SI fucking who stood up on his own initiative. The former is singing, the latter is bass, every time it can turn the sky upside down, who knows how much more SI fucking can do. Planning lit a cigarette, his hands were shaking, and he was also a little excited. He couldn't wait to see how the night of the group would explode. Here. After eating, SI fucking returned to his apartment. She came out of the shower, wiped her hair, and walked to the computer. Xiaobai lay beside him, humming comfortably. It's so full today. The owner of the dog's owner is so great that he removed all the impurities before feeding him gold. Strange. SI fucking narrowed his eyes, why didn't you pester me for gold to eat today? Xiaobai was a little nervous, screamed, and took the initiative to lie down, revealing his soft little belly to be cued. If its dog owner knows someone has given him gold, will he deduct his dog food? Daughter, I finally know how to save money for dad. SI fucking patted its head, dad is relieved. Xiaobai rolled his eyes. Fortunately, the dog owner had no idea that it had eaten a large gold brick. SI fucking opened the picture book, scanned and uploaded the 2 clothing designs she drew, and made it into a file package. Open the mailbox again, and enter Glenn's email address in the send field. SI fucking paused, and she pondered for a while. After a few seconds, she deleted the email address and entered another email address. Then write a name in the text box and click send. After the transmission was successful, she fell on the bed and quickly fell asleep. At this time, Glen, the international art mecca. It is home to world-renowned actors, singers, and talented painters and sculptors. There are also street performers who want to be discovered by Glen. They are not allowed to enter the central area, they can only perform around, and they are all looking forward to being signed by talent scouts one day. Great Xia Empire is night, here is day. In an office. The man was in his late 40s, with brown hair and blue eyes, working in an office. Mr. Mel, the special assistant, walked in. There are several performances in the Daxia Empire that invite you to watch. This is an invitation letter from them. One of them. She opened a very delicate invitation letter, it's called Youth, it has imitated 100 talent show abroad, it has been recorded and broadcast to the 6th issue, and their program team invites you to participate in the last issue. The night of the group. I don't have time, Mel refused without looking up. I don't need to watch it to know that the highlights of those shows are concentrated on the traffic stars, ignoring the real talent and art, and there is nothing to see. Do you really think that the entertainment industry in Daxia is still a few decades ago? Or was it when Yun Lan was there a few years ago? He asked him 3 times and 9 times, and he didn't want to stain his eyes. The special assistant nodded, put away all the invitations, and prepared to put them in the grocery room. I'll go to Ian's side to see the finished clothes. Mel stood up. The film festival is approaching, and we must not slack off in terms of clothing. You can help me read my latest announcement and spare me 2 days. The special assistant responded and went to prepare the schedule. It's not far from Ian's headquarters, just a few kilometers away. Mel quickly arrived at Ian's headquarters building. Mr. Mel, welcome. The staff welcomed him in, politely, Are you here to see the finished clothes? It's ready, please come here. Okay, thank you, don't you know that I have the honor to meet Mr. Gu today? Mel's attitude was completely different from before. Or when will Mr. Gu have time? I want to invite him to dinner. I'm sorry, Mr. Mel, Mr. Gu has been very busy recently. The secretary shook his head. I really don't have time. Mel is sorry. A few years ago, Ian's core design products were much less. Only Mr. Gu Wenzu is still designing. Everyone in Glen wanted to see him, but they all hit a wall. Mel has been waiting for 2 years and has not seen Gu Wenzu. 2. Such a top international designer really has no time to meet him. The staff brought Mel in. And at this moment, 80 floors. Gu Wenzu was reading a newspaper in the office with a cup of tea beside him. Teacher, the secretary knocked on the door and came in. There are a few more emails in your private mailbox. I have cleaned up all the junk emails for you. There is another email that is not spam, but it is marked as a design drawing, and I ask Lan to design according to the design drawing. How come the design drawings are in my private mailbox? Gu Wenzu pushed his glasses. Isn't it written who sent it? His private mailbox is not Ian's external mailbox, and not many people know it. But it did leak once. It's a pity, teacher, the secretary shook his head. The address is empty, and the other party has encrypted it. Without your permission, I didn't even open it. Gu Wenzu nodded, said nothing, and took a sip from the teacup. The secretary understood. I'll clean it up now. Gu Wenzu waved his hand and motioned him to leave. But suddenly, as if thinking of something, his hand suddenly trembled. Wait, don't delete it. Bring it here and show it to me. The secretary was a little surprised and puzzled, but did so anyway. He took his laptop and opened the email. Gu Wenzu put on presbyopic glasses. He didn't look at the attachments, he read the text directly. There are no other extra words in the text, only one inscription. Luna. Ordinary, but it doesn't matter. Gu Wenzu's eyes continued to slide down, and he saw 2 words written in the language he was most familiar with. Yunlin. In fact, at this table today, the assistant director still doesn't know that there is Miss Yu's family, there is a genius from the Mo family, there is a genius from the Kinjunmen, and there is a certain His Majesty who will be pulled by his waistcoat every day. Deputy Director? Asterisk. Why are you so interested in what I practice? It's like this, I practice legs and practice Pamela and beautiful ballet, 2 women called devils, you can watch it at Station B, and thin legs are still, it's quite obvious, but the waistline is falling faster. QWQ.